Mama. Hey everybody, guess what? We are back. This is African Frame Podcast. I'm not alone as usual. I'm with Rob Sibeko. My co-host is a writer, he's a world builder, he's a director. Do check out his stuff. He has some really cool clips on TikTok, and he has books out. Check the link in the description below. Also check out Buckmeister Cool from Meister Geek Media and Buckmeister Cool Reacts. He has comic books out. He's working on Black Panther versus Kang. It's on Webtoon. And he does have two other webtoons out. So I'll leave the link in the descriptions below. He also has two YouTube channels. One is called Buckmeister Cool, and the other one is called Meister Geek Media. Well, the first one is Buckmeister Cool Reacts, and then the second one is Meister Geek Media. And then if you want to know more about sports, or if you just want to get wild takes, check out Korte Z. That's Anazuko on all social media channels.
Cool. 7 Up is a series where we follow any TV series, or rather any movie series or franchise that consists of at least 7 movies and upwards. We rate them, we review them, and we see the flow of quality and give you any back news that you might need to really enjoy yourself. That is 7 Up.
And today we are doing the Marvel Universe, phase 1, phase 2.
Yep.
So let's get ready to, I don't know, rumble.
Let's
No,
get
no,
ready
no.
to
Let's
assemble.
get ready.
Catchphrase.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say it. God damn it.
What did he say?
Let's get
Said
ready to
assemble.
assemble.
Oh, yes. I was trying to think of a Marvel catchphrase and I blanked out. That's why I went with rumble. I couldn't, and it was right there, like such the obvious one. Like,
Don't worry, man.
okay.
And I was
Yes.
about to say it, and Rob took it from me.
You're trying to get a new twin now because your twin's not here.
Finishing each other's sentences, man. That's how we roll. But anyway, yeah. So we're gonna do
Don't tell
phase 1.
Tevelo.
Yeah, Tabella will be coming hopefully later. But just to break it down, we're going to be doing phase 1, and then we're going to be doing, and then probably later on we'll do phase 2. For those who don't know, that's from 2008 to 2012. That is Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, The First Soldier, and The Avengers. Anything you guys want to set up before we start?
I'm just trying to get into my
Can you just there's just something I wanted us to just mention quickly. The box office results of the first phase, because obviously this is Iron Man 1 is the first movie that really made a lot of money at the box office. It was a huge risk. This was before they actually started the MCU. I think it was still under Universal Pictures, if I'm not mistaken. This is when Avi Arad was still there. Kevin Feige was,
one of the ultimate villains of Spider-Man.
Yes. And Kevin Feige was still I guess you could say he was still getting his feet wet in this big position. Then they got Jon Favreau to join. They got Robert Downey Jr. also to come in. They were not sure whether this was going to work, but yeah, the first film really worked out great. But I just want to say, I think Rob already mentioned the years, right? 2008 until 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And the box office of those 6 films, the first 6 films, the total is over 3 billion. Yeah.
I don't know why. It feels a little less than I thought it would be.
That's because
But I guess it wasn't that big.
It wasn't a
No,
number
I
like that was
understand the
unthinkable.
times. I just thought,
Yeah.
Because remember in the latter movies, like one movie was making $1 billion already.
Later on, yes.
Yeah, so I figured because this was the beginning, I just thought it would be closer to 5 billion.
Well, I
But
mean,
it's still great numbers. It's still great numbers.
Yeah, and I mean, they only really started hitting that billion stride after Avengers 1.
Yeah.
So
So I guess you could say
that's why I
half
think
of
my
that
judgment
is from the Avengers.
I think my judgment is clouded by recent insane numbers.
Can everybody see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, already IMDb has to see me because these first two ratings.
All right. So I guess we can start with the first Iron Man, right?
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we start, I just want to say just a few things. So as I've mentioned before, Jon Favreau was attached to this film. Initially, he actually wanted to do Captain America, but yeah, he changed his mind, and then they started with Iron Man. Sam Rockwell was one of the candidates to play Iron Man. Rob probably knows this. This movie has been in development for years, to a point where even someone like Tom Cruise was approached to play Tony Stark at one point. But yeah, that never really
What would
worked
the
out.
MCU look like if they started with Captain America?
I don't
It might
know,
have
man.
fallen down.
I don't think it would have worked. I
It
don't
could
think
If
have
it
it
would have
worked.
started
worked.
with the first Avenger one, the first Avenger was tight.
It could have worked. It would have worked either way.
It would have worked because that first Avenger was actually the first Avenger as an intro movie to a thing would have worked because the storyline was good. It wasn't it didn't rely on anything but the story and the actors. So
Oh,
I
I forgot
think
to
Okay,
mention.
but
as an intro, I think it would have worked.
but don't
I think.
forget.
I forgot to
Um,
mention something. Okay.
okay, I was gonna say, don't
Hmm.
forget that Iron Man 1 was a bit of a disaster piece where there was like what you can say, frame CGI ready before the script was ready. They had to improvise. And I think
Yes.
Captain America, the first Avenger, was a very polished set. Who was it? Was
Uh-huh.
Ron? Who was the director again? Ron something? But
I
I
Um.
forgot his name.
yeah, I don't think it would have worked. I think you would. I think the level of polished wouldn't have come in with the first one because they didn't
Yeah.
know what they were making. But by movie number 4, they knew
Okay.
what they were making. So I feel like
Um.
Okay.
it's
That makes sense.
No, but I'm saying
Yeah.
the thing is, I think there's just a lot more working parts. Like the thing is with Captain America, the first Avenger, everybody knows a war movie, right? A lot of people have seen Saving Private Ryan and stuff like that of that nature. So I think if it was even with like it was like chaotic on set, but they managed to like bring it together, there's a lot of movies that I've heard that like operated like that. And Captain America has a lot less moving parts than Iron Man per se. It's a
I just
dude in
want.
a suit doing flips. So I don't know.
exactly.
I feel like it could have worked either way.
I
I
just
think
want to say two.
ironic. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I just want to
No,
say
no,
two
okay.
things. Going back to what you were saying, Rob. So this was directed by Joe Johnston. The Captain America film they were talking about, the one that came out, First Avenger. Because
Yes.
I think you were asking. But then
Yeah.
the other thing that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention is that the article that I was reading all those years ago, they wanted to make Captain America a comedy.
Mm.
You see, so this goes
Okay.
back to what Rob
Okay.
was saying.
And also another piece of trivia. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, the one that got an IMDb of 5 out of 10 and a Rotten Tomatoes of 37,
The
came
Tim
out in
Story one.
2007. So if they had made Captain America with Chris Evans a year later after that failure, I don't see them people being enthusiastic.
Yeah,
Like
no.
that.
No. I'll
Okay.
say this. I'll say this. With the Fantastic Four movies, him, and Ben Grimm are kind of the standout. So I think people would have been like, I don't like the movie, but I do like him. And also, he had done some other things up until at this point before he got into Fantastic Four.
Yeah, he
So,
did.
but I
He
mean,
was
anyway, point
he
being
But
is
was
like
that
cellular.
point being is that it was just interesting to like if they wanted to start with him first.
Hmm.
and
You might want to change
I don't
their
even think I
I'm
don't
just gonna
even think
change
that he
the
I don't even think that he might have been the first choice. Remember, this is before a lot of people joined the MCU. Uh, because this thing was just starting. So I don't
Hmm.
even think he
I
was
think
gonna
it's also
be.
before it was called the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, okay, so Iron Man 7.9 does not make sense to me.
Why not?
Okay.
Why?
What would make sense to you?
I give it an 8.
Oh, okay. So to going
Dude,
the
like
other
by
direction.
one, like by one
Eight.
point. Like,
No. Let me say
It makes a
8.5.
difference. 7.9 makes it sound like it was almost there. 8 makes it feel like it was solidly there.
I'd be like 8.5 because this movie, first off, it's a hugely tight narrative. I know people don't think the Ironmonger is that great of a villain, but how many people quote Tony Stark was able to build this thing in a cage from a box of scraps
right.
and
Yeah,
all of that stuff. Jeff Bridges was it Jeff Bridges?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, Jeff
Yep.
Bridges was pretty memorable in that role.
He was a
Uh,
menace.
Yeah.
it's one of the greatest Phoenix metaphors where you take a billionaire, like it's one of those things where you take somebody who's on top and you bring him low, and then he builds himself up again, and it's like you believe it and whatever. And you
Yeah.
see a change in Tony Stark. Like you see that like this thing that happened to him deeply affected him on a crazy level. Also that emotional stuff with Yinsen, there's a couple contrivances in the movie, but like I can like the fact that I can remember this movie from opening act to end act. I can quote a lot of the lines from it and all of that stuff.
Right.
And yeah, I still think like I think like a 7.9 is way too low for Iron Man 1. I easily believe that it's like a 8.5.
No, I can fly with that. That's for sure.
I can fly.
I mean,
And
like the
also,
only criticism that I really had is that when they were building the suit the first time and the terrorists are looking at him build legs and they're just like, oh no, he's building a machine. And it's like, is he?
yeah, that's probably the only thing. But I think also, and Tony's growth it wasn't weird. It felt natural. And it wasn't like he didn't go from 0 to 100. You know, he saw his things, he saw what was happening, and it slowly dawned on him that, wait a minute, I thought I was the good guy, but it turns out I'm just a typical warlord who's just selling his weapons everywhere. His intellect, the way they did the exposition on his intellect, it wasn't too force feedy, it wasn't too cringy. He had the charisma to carry it, so you believed his playboyness.
And
So
like
that's
I'm
that's
saying, like the
also another
setup for his
thing.
intelligence was so good in this movie that you never questioned how smart he was through the rest of the MCU.
Mm. So like everything about like you understood his motivations, you understood his charisma, you understood like he made sense and it was pulled off well. You know, sometimes someone tries to be charismatic and they're not really like Val Kilmer in Batman. He wasn't really charismatic,
Hmm.
I'm
but
sorry if I
here
have a
Tony.
shocked I'm sorry if I have a shocked expression on my face is because I'm looking at the ratings that they gave Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What is happening here? Okay, sorry. Moving on.
Calm
So
down.
wait, Zuko, who was a charismatic actor for Batman movies in your opinion?
For me, from the ones I've seen as Bruce Wayne, um, uh, Affleck pulled it off well. But also remember, this is now older Batman for Affleck, so he wasn't the exuberant youth. Um, Christian Bale, he
Yes.
was almost there, but you could see he was reluctant in doing it. He was almost there.
Mm.
And
What about Clooney?
No.
Clooney had the look, he had the
But I'm talking.
suave, but he just
We're talking about charisma. We're
as
not
the
talking
Bruce
about
Wayne, as a
anything
Bruce Wayne,
else
Clooney pulled it
but
off. As a
charisma.
Bruce Wayne, Clooney pulled it off because
I
he
don't
had the
think
swag, he
Yeah,
had
so.
the suave.
100%. He's one of
No,
the
no,
I
best
no.
Bruce
As
Waynes.
His face had the swag. What is his acting though? Like I'm trying to think of his acting in that movie to
No,
make it
dude,
worth it.
like
yeah, I'm also
he's but I'm saying even when he's not in the bat suit, he's a bobblehead
Oh,
throughout
but
that
that's
in
just that's just Clooney in general. That guy has a bobblehead every
yeah.
time.
Yeah, but I'm saying like He
Who
had
else?
also
Tillman
the other
didn't have
thing
it.
is like the way they dressed him in Batman and Robin. It's just like this is not Bruce Wayne. Like they put him in big baggy suits. Also his haircut, he didn't have like the Bruce Wayne hair. It's like you could have given him like a better hairstyle than like a buzzsaw cut thing.
Wait. Okay, guys, maybe this is a topic for another day because I'm about to go into the rabbit hole, but it's fine. We'll talk about this some other time.
Anyway,
But you were
Yeah,
saying,
so
Zuko?
as I was saying, he had the charisma. He had his supporting cast. They did good plot points for him to show his growth and arc. Pepper, Obadiah, Jensen, Rhodey. Um, so his counterpoints, his balancing act, they were brilliant. So I enjoyed this. I agree with Bug. This was a 8.5.
Okay. Rob?
I agree with a lot of the stuff here. I feel like Terrence Howard is being left out. Man was okay. I think he did a great job.
no, he did a good
I mean,
job in that.
he was the highest paid actor in this movie,
Yeah.
was he not?
Yeah, because he was basically in like
Mm.
Untouchables, he was Sean Connery. He was the big name actor, with the other ones not being that big at that moment because
But that
Downey
doesn't make
Jr.
sense to me because Gwyneth Paltrow had already won an Oscar for Shakespeare in Love, did she not?
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
but
but
remember, she
remember
hadn't been acting a lot.
yeah,
She
also
hadn't
like
been acting a lot.
he was in like more like bigger projects.
Recent
yeah.
films at
Yeah,
that time.
recent
I'm
projects.
saying it was
Remember,
recent.
the
It
thing
was
with
recent at the
Hollywood,
time.
it's
I'm saying recent is one thing, but also they were like, it was like, I forgot what he was in at the time, but like basically that was like plastered everywhere. Like Terrence
Hustle
Howard
and
was
He was
just
a
Flow,
draw. He,
yeah,
Crash.
hustle
he
and
was
flow.
Um,
money.
Like hustle and flow was a big
and I think it was Crash. I think it was
It,
Crash that was.
and
uh
Get Rich or Die Trying as
it was
well. I mean,
Hustle,
those
Flow,
movies were good.
Crash, Four Brothers. Man was flowing in those last 5 years.
Yeah. Get
yeah.
Rich or
Anyway,
Die
Yeah.
Trying was what? 2006?
I'll tell you now.
some oof.
Yeah, it
Hey,
was
that
2005.
movie was rough.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, dang. We love 50, but hey.
Yeah, but it was definitely a box office draw, so I get it. You guys are right.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
And remember, thingy, Downey Jr. at the time, he was basically making a comeback.
Yep.
Yeah, because before this he had done what? Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Which was a masterpiece and one of the most underrated movies of all time, but yes.
Yeah, well, according to them, it was a bomb. So,
Yeah, it was,
No,
because
and
according to the
he had
box office, it was a
Val Kilmer
bomb.
yeah,
in there.
yes, cult classic.
Yeah,
Wait, does not involve
it
also
was,
Val Kilmer, yeah.
Val Kilmer was in there. He was
Yeah,
still in his
Val
prime.
Kilmer's in that one.
Yeah.
It's him and Val Kilmer.
Batman, Iron Man sharing the same space.
Yep. But I think
Yeah.
you were still speaking, Rob.
Oh no. I'm good. I was just,
Uh
if anything, I was gonna say, I was saying that it was an underrated movie. I think the same director. I just want to make sure I check the director here. Yeah, it's Shane Black. There we go. Iron Man 3 guy. So that's why, because Shane
Yeah.
Black is one of the greatest directors of all time, but unfortunately, he just can't make a movie that the modern era likes until like a year later. It's very strange. But yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. I'm sure there were connections there where they tied them to Marvel. I'm not sure who brought who in when it comes to the whole Shane Black, etc. But yeah, anyway, carry on, guys. I was
yeah,
All
so
right. What's your
should I
rating?
put 8.5 for both of you?
actually, you know what? Give me. I'm gonna put
Oh, okay.
8.7.
Oh, you got it.
That's fine. Do it. Let's
All
see.
right, cool. 8.7. And then Zuko, I'm gonna say 8.7, 8.5, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what's stopping it from being a 9 per se. I just know that it's not. Like I'd have to really sit down and think about why it wouldn't be a 9.
I would say the simplicity.
Maybe, yeah. There's that.
I think give me an 8.7 as well. Okay, let me just give my take. For me, this was perfect casting for Robert Downey Jr.
Mm.
The guy looked exactly like Tony Stark, in my opinion, because at the time I had the comic book and I was reading it. So when I was seeing him there, I was like, "Whoa, this is like straight from the comic books." For me, the scenes that I enjoyed throughout the entire movie was when he was alone, when he was actually figuring out how to build the Mark 5 or whatever it is, the Mark 1, sorry, Mark 2, whatever.
Mm.
His
And that's the
conversations with
charisma of the
Jarvis.
actor.
His conversations with Jarvis, his interactions with Rhodey, his interactions with Pepper, all those moments for me are what really made the movie for me. Even Jeff Bridges, man, he brought it. And also you could see his intelligence, basically. That's I think what really got me intrigued. And I guess you could say he was the most focused, the most sober-minded version of Tony that we met. You could see his engineering skills and all those things. The casting was great. You got really great actors there. Nobody felt like they were what's this word that I'm looking for? No, it's not Jason team. I just don't know how to put it in English. I'm just
Out of
forgetting the
place.
word.
There was no one out of place.
Yes, no one was out of place, so nobody felt like they were the wrong pick.
Taking up space.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an 8.7 for me. I genuinely think that they had a good formula for what they were doing, even though they still had to work on the dialogue on a daily basis, and they were doing it as they get along. I mean, sometimes when you look at, for instance, there's a plane scene with
with all the girlies and drunk Rhodey.
Rhodey and
That was hilarious, bro.
like you can tell that these guys are not even like you could tell they were improvising that moment because nobody's listening to anybody per se. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but I'm saying, like, the thing is, I think the reason what made it work though is that I think, like, Robert Downey Jr. locked into the fact that Tony is usually a dude in his own world. So even if, like, Rhodey is drunk and talking about something or whatever, you can see Tony Stark just sitting there going, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
So that's why,
yeah,
like, and also they were smart enough to not even try to zoom in on the conversation. What they do is they kind of just zoom out, and basically Rhodey's incoherent rambling just, like, starts fading out in the scene. And it
right.
works
Mm.
perfectly fine because we don't need to hear what Rhodey is saying.
And also, I think there's something that we forgot to mention about Rhodey. The way he was always checking out for Tony. You remember when they wanted to nuke him or something? They wanted like
Mm.
and then he sort of came up with a plan to make sure that nothing happens to him.
No, Tony called Rudy and he's like, help!
Exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Those were great moments, man. And unfortunately, we never got to see next time.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
technically we did, just not with Terrence Howard.
But okay,
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
here's the thing. Yeah, I have a question for you guys. Um, what do you think would have happened if Terrence Howard continued? Because according to Terrence Howard, he says that he was supposed to have his solo trilogy, right? But also, if he stayed on, he still would have been the highest paid actor, which means he still would have been paid more than Robert, right?
It was never
No,
gonna
he
happen.
That
wouldn't
was
have
not gonna
been.
hold.
Remember, it wasn't
I
gonna
mean, wait,
work.
wait. If
Remember,
they had signed a contract, if they had signed a 4 picture contract,
No, I'm saying
Um,
if they had signed a 4-picture contract, but remember the contracts can get renegotiated, and if he's not the main draw, they're not gonna pay him that type of money. Because
exactly. And also remember, he
okay,
was
sorry, go
paid that
ahead.
money because he was the main man. But after the movie, Tony became the main man.
right?
Can anyone hear
So the
me?
status changed.
Oh,
Wangeno Goku.
Hi.
We can hear you,
wait,
buddy.
6 out of 10. Debello. For
he
Iron
said
Man
out of
1?
19. That's even worse.
6
Okay,
out of 10.
Tebalo,
Sir,
please state your reasons, man, before we move on.
Oh,
What's
wow.
up, everybody? This is Debello, KC Media, Geek Spot, Nerdgasm. Great. Now we need to get into this geek heresy.
Look,
Because what is the Eisen Summer?
the Iron Man movies personally are not my favorite.
Okay.
Wait, that's it?
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
yes, that okay.
that's it. If you think about the first Iron Man movie, the only thing that's rewatchable is the fact that is the first flight, most likely, and the not even the final boss fight was interesting.
I think this is how this is where I have to deviate from the color. I might have to
Put a different color there.
yeah, I might have to revoke my membership from the color because
But guys, what is interesting about that first movie?
everything from the
Everything.
fact like Tony's
interesting.
Tony's fall as a character where like in the beginning he's high, he's on top of the world, he's taking selfies with soldiers and everything, and he's like, yeah, I'm untouchable until the bomb shows up and he's just like, oh yeah, snap, I'm actually a human being. And then the whole time in the cave, his conversations with Jensen, when Jensen is saying that, oh, I want to go see my family and everything, and when I get out of here and all that stuff, and basically Jensen sacrifices himself so that Tony can have a second chance, and he says to Tony, don't waste it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste it. And then Tony gets out of there. That fight scene with him in the silver, in the silver suit with that was a good fight scene. That was also a good flight scene and all of that stuff. Because all of that stuff was really good. And then the fact when he goes into there and he's like, I want a cheeseburger, and then he like sits down and tells everybody that Stark is going to stop producing weapons. People are flipping out. How is Stark going to make money and all of that
Okay,
stuff?
yes, thank you for the lovely dissertation of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he
I'm
doesn't
just
care,
saying.
bro.
But you still want to change your mind, yeah?
Okay, I'll put it on a 7.
How magnanimous of you. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, but
Your problem is you've been drinking hater juice. You come from me, you've been drinking hater juice.
Have you
Okay,
guys-
Incredible Hulk.
Seinfeld clip. Have you guys seen that Seinfeld clip where like what the guy from Seinfeld doesn't want to wear the AIDS ribbon, and they're like, that guy doesn't want to wear the ribbon, and everyone just gets mad at him and they start chasing him. That's what I feel like.
I feel like
or like what's that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean 2 where like Jack Sparrow is just running and then like a bunch of people are chasing him afterwards.
Oh, yes,
no. I can give you a perfect analogy. I feel like Cersei during the Walk of Shame. You have that nun walking behind me like shame.
Shame. You don't appreciate
Shame.
Iron Man 1. Shame.
Like if he said like if he's giving Iron Man 1 a 7, I don't even know what he's gonna give Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. And that's Shane Black. I'm gonna defend that one.
Okay.
I don't think it's a terrible movie, but we'll talk about it when we get to it.
No,
Okay.
I don't think it like.
Okay, but
I'm speaking more to the fact that if we think
guys,
Iron Man 1 is so good,
quickly, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And then Iron Man 3 was not really at that level, even though it was in a different way.
Yeah, I would say it didn't understand the assignment. But yeah, sorry,
yeah. So that's just what I'm saying. I'm afraid for the next 2 Iron Man movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, next. Okay, so
But-
next one, Incredible
before we-
Hulk. Oh, yeah.
Before you go, I just want to ask you guys one question. Do you think there's a connection between the Iron Man 1 scene where the bomb goes off in his face and the Wanda Romanoff scene where it says, for the next 7 days, we wait for Tony Stark to kill us? Do you think there's a connection there?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you
obviously.
think that was on purpose? All right.
Yeah, I think because the shot is almost the same, kind of. Especially with the missile itself. If you compare shot for shot, it's almost like, like it's trying to show that, between how that affected Tony and how that affected Wanda.
Like a 10-year
Pietro.
incorporation. All right, fair enough. Just checking. All right, let's move on. Sorry, just checking.
No, I mean, the thing is, the MCU was...
I don't know what scene you guys are talking about, to be honest.
So in WandaVision, when the missile drops and it's in Wanda's house or whatever, like the way that thing is shot is the same way that it's shot in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Ultron
okay.
or Ultron.
Why don't I remember it? I watched
remember
WandaVision.
it.
Why don't I remember
Oh,
it?
it's also an Ultron. Yeah, it's also
it's
an
an
Ultron.
Ultron, but it's
Age of
dialogue
Ultron, yeah.
where she explains what happens. That Tony Stark's bombs landed in her house, and then the bomb didn't go off. So the bomb killed the family by physically landing on them, but the kids were like still alive, and they were waiting for the bomb to go off, and it didn't go off. And it's like that's what happened to Tony in the first Iron Man movie, but it eventually did go off. But you know what I mean?
I
You
get
asked
you.
me about that. Yeah. Anyway,
That was
Yeah,
like
but
the last
also
writer who cared
it
about that
goes
stuff.
into the link of
Yes.
why they would be hating on Tony and why they'll be hating on the West and things like that. So
Mhm.
it goes into because they got activated and became radical after
Yeah.
that.
Which
Yeah.
reminds me, this is the whole thing about writing, where like you notice these reincorporation. Like for example, in I think it's also no, it's not Ultron, it's Civil War, when that lady tries to give something to Iron Man and he freaks out because he doesn't want to be handed anything, and it's a replay on Iron Man 3 when Iron Man doesn't want to be. It's a thing that basically started in Iron Man 1 where he doesn't want to be handed anything, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
don't give me anything in my hand. And then it gets reincorporated in Iron Man 3 where like he like because of that he like abuses the guy and it ends up being pushed back, and then because of the trauma that happened to him, it gets reincorporated again in
It's almost like they wrote a consistent character.
yes, yes.
Wonder when they're gonna do that again. This is
It's done.
All right.
Recast T'Challa.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one is The Incredible Hulk. Came out in
yeah,
2008.
2008. This movie is so underrated. I don't understand why people sleep on Incredible Hulk. It was so good.
Yeah.
Because it
Okay,
wasn't
so
Hulk,
guys,
Hulk.
before we continue, I'm sure you guys have got an idea of the order, right? So it's gonna be Buck first, then it's Zuko, then it's Rob, it's me, then it's Steven. But before
Okay.
Bucks goes in, I just want to say a few things. So obviously this one came out after Iron Man 1, released in 2008, produced by Avi Arad. This is the second movie produced by Avi Arad, before his departure, I guess. So Eric Boehner didn't come back for this one. So we were not sure whether this is connected to the first movie or not. And then there's sort of like some hints that it
Well,
is
they
It's
kind
a
of
because
called
remix.
it.
It's a
I
soft
believe they.
reboot.
Yeah, I believe they called it a requel,
Yeah,
what's
because
which
what's
is
a
just a weird word in
yeah,
what's a
they
English.
requel?
re-explain.
A
Yeah,
reboot sequel.
yeah,
Okay.
a soft reboot
Mm.
basically.
Yeah,
But
that's
Yeah, it was
hence
a
the
soft.
whole
Yeah, that's
Brazil
the word
thing,
I was
right?
looking for.
Hence the whole
Yeah,
Brazil thing because in Hulk he ended up in Brazil.
yes, because they
yeah.
explain in like it's so funny. I had to watch a YouTube video to understand it, but they basically explain that the experiment ended up hurting is her name Jane? And
Yeah, Jane
while
Foster.
It's
Jane
yeah,
Foster.
Betsy.
Yeah.
Jane Foster, yeah, in front of Ross, who's
No,
obviously
no,
the
no, no, no,
father.
no, no, no. Betty
No,
Ross.
that's Betty Ross.
Sorry, okay, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Betsy.
connections
Jane
there.
is
They
Kiwakato.
re-explain it in the dialogue, so basically it is completely re-explained from the first movie. So yeah, they make
So
You
is
big
can
Hulk
changes.
connect
from
them.
is Hulk from the MCU then? The
You
first one?
can
The,
the first one you can connect
technically,
it if you want to, but
yes,
you
Yeah,
don't have
yes,
to.
right,
yes.
Mm.
right. Okay, just a few things before Buck goes in. So Edward Norton was a huge fan of the 1978 television series with Lur Ferrigno.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he really wanted to capture some of the moments from that series, right? Obviously, Lou
Mm.
Ferrigno appears in almost every Hulk film or adaptation,
Yes,
live action.
at
He
some point.
provides the voice, or he has a cameo to a certain degree. Um, yes, we do know the story. Edward Norton was difficult to work with because he wanted to do things his own way. He has a bad tendency to do that. He's infamous for that in Hollywood. Um, this was so bad that Kevin Feige said that they will never work with him ever again. That's how bad it was. But anyway,
But I
um,
don't know, when you look at something that they are doing now, it's just like, I don't know,
And
because
you know
I
what's
feel like
funny is yeah.
I'll just finish this thought. I feel like sometimes it's like when you're a super fan, like, because the same thing is happening with Ali right now, right? I mean, it's probably not to the same extent of what would happen with Norton, but I'm just saying it's a thing where I feel like sometimes, like, these companies and producers, and like Kevin Feige, he's fallen prey to this as well. I know this is like supposed to be peak era Kevin Feige, or whatever the case is, when when there was fire underneath that hat or whatever. But like, there's this thing of where it's like we gotta dumb down the material, like we gotta make safe the material, like we can't
Mm.
push the material too much, because if you look at Incredible Hulk 2008, like, the humor in there is kind of minimal.
Mm.
Like, it's there, but it's not like, they're not trying to joke 20, joke every 5 minutes in
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk. Like a
angry
lot of the
No,
time.
but that makes that does. But if you think about it, it does make sense because this is before Disney bought the MCU, Marvel. So this was
Yeah.
still under Universal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Hence, it
No, no,
feels
no, yeah, yeah.
different.
Yes.
No, but what I'm saying also is that when we get to Kevin Feige, I feel like there was an idea of what he thought the Hulk was supposed to be, and that's kind of what happens with the Hulk when we get to, what happens with the Avengers and everything. And I feel like Norton, if you're saying he was a fan of like, Bigsby and all of that
Mm.
stuff, like,
Yeah,
and
Bill
also
Bixby.
like, yeah, Bill Bixby, and also like how that stuff was kind of informed by the comics of how, he's always on the run. He's basically moving from town to town. He'll solve a problem in a town here and then move on, or whatever the case is. Forever Alone, Banner, and all of that stuff, which is stuff that happened in the comic books a lot. I feel like Norton was just like, you're trying to make this character a bit too goofy for what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
Mm.
can see him as a person who's a fan of something, like clashing, like just like, no, this is not who this person is. And
Mm.
because he couldn't compromise on that, that's probably why they kicked him out. A lot of actors do have issues. Like Benedict Cumberbatch has said that in Multiverse of Madness, there's things that he wanted for Doctor Strange as a character that they just didn't want to put in.
I was actually going to say
Yeah,
something similar. I was going to defend Edward Norton because he actually spoke about this. And he was like, no, this man brought pages of research. He came in hard on this because, and you have to remember something, yes, Edward Norton is a notoriously difficult actor, but he is also I don't want to use the word genius, but he is actually good at
no,
what he
no, he
does.
is. No,
Like,
he
for
is.
example,
He's a brilliant actor. He's a brilliant
yeah.
actor.
Yeah, because you get the Gene Hackman. I don't know if you guys know this. I think I've got who talked about working with Gene Hackman, where you had to like talk to this guy like 3 times before you get even one thing going. You get that kind of difficult. And then you get like the guy from Jigsaw, the guy who plays the trap maker in Jigsaw,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he's so invested in it, where he's like, the character wouldn't do this. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? So I
mm.
feel like you get two kinds of difficult. And I feel like Edward Norton was the good kind of difficult.
Okay,
Um,
here's the thing about Edward Norton that people
mm,
might not know. Edward Norton also is a writer and is a director,
mm,
right? And in the past, he has done works that were so great because of his input, right? From writing and directing. So
mm.
I think he believed that whatever he touches turns into gold for some reason. And I think that became a problem because you're not hired to be a director in this one. You're not hired to be a writer. You're just supposed to be the
Mm.
main actor here, you
No,
know?
but don't forget something. That's something that we all deal with. And I watched a video about it. I think it was today, where someone was talking. Oh, crap! Now it's lost my brain. But basically, the guy they were talking about, they're like, "But it's a comic book movie," and it's like, that's a producer talking. What do you mean? It's a comic book movie? So that's so dismissively. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's like that.
Mm.
Like for example, Batman and Robin, right? I
Mm,
know Joel Schumacher's not the sole one to blame, but a
mm,
lot of people kept running around and saying it's a comic book movie. It's comic books. It's not a
mm,
tragedy. It's comic books. And it's just like just because it's a comic book doesn't mean that like the thing is with comic books is they earn their silliness.
mm.
Yeah,
Like you can't just get silly for the sake of being silly
yeah.
or whatever the case is. And
And
also
not
when
just,
you're adapting stories, right? We as comic book readers, we know the silly stories. I'm not
Mm.
really
mm.
interested in seeing the silly stories live action. I'm interested in seeing the good ones with gravitas get
Yeah.
adapted with live action. And
And
they
not
Don't
just,
exist.
don't define us
not
by our silly moments. Yes.
not just that. Remember, with that movies in particular, the toy companies wanted to produce a lot of toys. So it's as if the marketing was even putting Joel Schumacher under so much pressure for him to
Mm.
write a specific story or
I
direct a
understand,
specific
but there's
story.
stuff in that movie where it's just like, okay, I get you need to sell toys. Why am I looking at Batman's nipples?
No, no, I
Yeah.
get you.
I
I
hear
get
you,
you.
No,
Yeah,
man.
I think
yeah.
also the problem with comics is it unfortunately people think comics and they think cartoons. And
Mm,
so they don't think literature, they don't think Jane Austen, they don't think it's good writing. They just
mm,
think it's cartoons, it's for kids. And therefore a lot that's why even now, even today, these guys don't read the thing and they don't know the characters. even like in 2024, when it has been shown that this stuff is good, it's been shown that this stuff is literature, where it's been shown that this stuff is actually tugging at the heartstrings, it's tugging at the mind strings, it's tugging at the soul strings. Even after all the evidence, people still it to make an extreme example, it's like when cops see a black person, they see first a criminal before they see a human being. Just to make an extreme example. So comic books are still suffering from that thing where even today in 2024, after all the evidence has been shown that this stuff is actually pretty dope, this stuff is pretty interesting, this stuff is intellectual, this stuff has heart, this stuff has soul, all you see is it's a criminal. Oh wait, he went to Harvard and he's got a good job. He doesn't do crime. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like
No, and like the ironic thing about that is that there's cartoons that show how good this stuff is. Like Batman the animated series existed, and people still went, eh.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
also
It's
just
still like no,
basically,
it feels like one of those things like no matter what we do,
We're still on
people
Iron Man.
they no, we're talking about how comic books are viewed in terms of they never taken seriously and forever just um it's a
The
comic
live
book.
action
It's not
adaptations
serious
are
literature.
not taken seriously.
Okay.
and it's at the
Yeah,
detriment.
so
Yeah,
Can I
and
just say
which
something quickly
detriment
before
which is
Buckmaster
detrimental
comes
now
in?
to the film.
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
not
But you
just the
understand
film.
that
Yeah.
what's this that's stupid that 50 Shades of Grey, they were more vested in making that thing good when the writing of the book was horrible. Like that's a horrible book. Like that felt like
Women still
a
need to explain that to me, how the hell they made that a phenomenon. I still don't
like
get it.
that book was horrible. The writing, I kid you not, I forced myself to read it, and I'm one of those people when I start reading something, even if it's bad,
Yeah,
I
we
will
need to
finish it.
applaud. We need to applaud Zuko. He did what no other man should ever endure.
No,
I
How?
literally,
Zuko had
no,
to read Zuko had to read a line, guys, called "It's 50 Shades of Fucked Up." What the hell does that mean?
look, I managed to get to about page 80 something, and I just couldn't anymore. I after page 20, I was like,
But
what the hell is this? It is horrible writing. Like it is,
but
you
wasn't
know,
it still?
Because it was weekly format, because basically the story of it is it. I don't know if you guys have ever written fan fiction before, but there are fan
Yeah.
fiction websites where what you do is you
yeah,
post every week, right? And then you keep your
yeah,
fan base.
Oh
And what
yes.
this woman did was she was like, okay, I've done a post every week for like 100 chapters. Job's done. I'm not going to edit it again. So it became this week. So it becomes this weird disjointed thing that becomes a mess. And instead of editing it and getting it fixed, but she was too sensitive about her feelings, so she just left it as it is. And that's why the terrible book that you get is the terrible book that you get, because it
Wasn't it a
wasn't made
fan
for that
Yes.
fiction
format.
of
And
Toilet?
yo,
also that movie that book is a parody of Twilight.
Oh
Yep.
yes, I was saying
That's
of Toilet.
something that people don't know.
also Twilight, also horrible writing. Ew,
So it
No,
was
but
like
like here's the thing: Toilet had more going on than 50 Shades of
Did you
Grey
say
ever
toilet?
had.
Yes,
oh
That
yeah.
Twilight.
works.
Oh, you missed out. Oh yeah, because
Yeah, they call it, I don't know. They call it
we are calling
Toilet.
it Toilet because that's exactly what it is. So
I do- no, I if Toilet was toilet, 50 Shades of Grey was
it was doomed from the start.
was
It
sewage
was,
water.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was
plugged
sewage water.
toilet.
My guy, I also read that because
You
I
have to
was
flush
interested in this
toilet. You
girl.
have to flush
I was
toilet to
interested in
get
this
50
girl,
Shades of
so
Grey.
I tried to read Twilight. I've actually watched I think 3 of the 4 Twilight movies because of girls. Whoa, guys, the things we do for Mamidi, you
Zuko,
are
Hey,
Zuko,
I've
did you
done
crazy.
worse.
smash?
I've done worse.
Did you smash?
Women.
But
This is
Okay,
why
wait,
I'm
Zuko, did you smash? After all that,
Huh?
did you smash at
Ah
least?
no, yeah, Rejolile, no, no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm gonna tell you
Was it
now,
worth
ne?
it?
Oh
Was it
wow,
worth?
dude, you sound like such a Twitter bro right now. Did you
Oh my
smash?
god.
You're such a Twitter bro, bro.
No,
No,
I
you
just
I'm
should
wanted
have
to
saying
know
accomplished,
after
Here's
Raj.
all
You
that,
started a
after all
mission.
that hard work, did you get something? You know what?
Okay, hold on.
Thank
Okay,
it.
wait.
Buffett, we're going off the rails here. Hold on. All I want to
Okay.
say is this. Whenever your dude asks you to watch a superhero movie and you made him watch that, You
have
have
no
no right to
right to say no.
complain.
Baby,
Danko.
after watching Twilight, you have all the rights to sit down and watch the entire Lord of the Rings from beginning to end. This is written better.
Hey,
Okay, guys, to go back to
anyway,
the first
back to the
tangent.
movie.
Okay, let's go
And
back to
back
Hulk.
somebody
guys.
need to
Let's go
Kai.
back to Hulk.
Can I just make one point? I just want to say, with the whole the initial tangent, basically the idea is there's a connection between a good product and toys. Because the Star Wars movies, I think we can all agree the Star Wars sequels were terrible, right?
Mhm.
And you'll notice that the
Mhm.
toys
Yes.
didn't sell. I don't know if you guys know, but the toys didn't sell
Force
at all.
Awakens was all right. The other two of them.
Yeah, but yeah, they lost billions. Those toy companies.
Rogue One kind of sort of almost saved them, but then
Yeah, and they did sell some of those toys, but you need to have momentum to get all the toy sales. And so
Yeah.
having a good story matters. So Dark Knight sold hell of toys, and that wasn't supposed to be selling toys, but it did. So I just think just having a good story comes first. So these executives, we need to get rid of them somehow. But yeah, anyway,
Yes,
out of the
please.
They need
tangent.
to
I'm working on
retire.
it,
So
They're
guys.
before
Give me a
85.
moment.
And also, guys,
before
you're an
Buckmaster
executive.
comes in,
You've seen the market.
Uh,
You've seen good
guys.
movie equals good sales. Why do you keep on saying let's make the toy first and not
No,
worry
but
about the movie? You've
okay,
seen that a good movie equals good sales, and you keep making the
Okay.
same mistakes.
all right,
You guys have
all right,
MBAs. You guys
okay,
have MBAs. You went to
okay.
Harvard and shit, but you're still doing the dumbest shit. Like I don't even
you're
have
tired. What's
Okay.
wrong with the
All right. Before Buckmaster comes in, I just want to finish this. So, as I've mentioned, the cast, I just forgot to mention three people. Liv Tyler. Liv Tyler is the one that plays Betty Ross. Initially, it was Jennifer Connelly, right?
the Whisperer.
Then Tim Roth comes in as Abomination,
Abomination.
and then there is William Hurt, R.I.P. He plays Thunderbolt Ross. It would have been great to see him
William Hurt was in it was Sam Elliott, wasn't it?
No, Sam Elliott was in Hulk.
Oh, original. Yeah,
Yes,
OG.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's sad that we didn't see William Hurt as Red Hulk, but what can you
Yeah,
do?
that would have been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, then the last person is Tim Blake Nelson, who plays Samuel Stans, and he's gonna reprise his role in the new Captain America as the leader. So yeah, that's the cast.
Also, the guy who played I forget his name, but he was Phil Dunphy in Modern Family. He was in this.
Oh yeah, he
What's
was
Phil
the
Dunphy
love
in
interest,
this?
no? He was
Yeah,
the
Phil
love
Dunphy.
interest.
Yeah,
Oh, I need to
secondary.
rewatch this. I need to watch
Someone.
this. I don't
It holds
remember
up.
He
him.
was also
It
in the
holds up, bro.
military. Yeah, he was also in the military. But the thing is that that dude is so like in my head, he's so locked in as a comedic actor that when he's doing serious stuff, it's just like,
It's
bro,
tough.
I'm laughing at you, my guy. Like
Yeah.
you're too
I
funny.
hate that, especially when they're actually good and you get lost for a moment and you're like, wow, that was good. And then you remember it's Phil Dunphy and then you laugh. And you're like, but why am I laughing? That was actually good. I enjoyed that scene.
Okay.
No, he's a
So
great
one
actor.
last thing. Budget from between 137 to 150 million, and box office it made over 265 million.
Okay, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
For the time, I think it's not bad, but
Yeah, for
I'm
the
just
time.
wondering. I'm just wondering, like
I'm
it should have
going-
done more.
I'm gonna break a couple of
No,
hearts.
don't you remember? For some reason, it just didn't hit. I do
Yeah,
not
no.
know
Yeah,
why,
I
but
don't.
it just,
I
it
yeah,
don't know
didn't
why.
hit.
I'm not gonna lie to
Remember,
you.
even when Ed Norton, remember he had his notes and everything, and then I think they shot some of those scenes, and this is how he thought it was gonna be. And then when you watch the final thing, he was so disappointed because it didn't go the way he thought. He didn't actually even promote it. So on the promo side as well, they lost money because Ed Norton himself didn't want to promote it. He didn't even go to the premiere. I think the
Okay,
first premiere
that's
he
a
didn't
bit.
go.
But I'm saying that's a bit too dramatic.
And-
Like I get that they didn't do what you want, my guy. I really understand that, and I really
Christopher
understand that
Lee
they
did
could
the
have
same
done
thing.
something. But like, come on.
I'm
So
gonna.
it lost
I
also.
don't know
So
if
because of
you.
the negative reviews, because of the main actor didn't like. Imagine if you're gonna watch a movie, like imagine Buckmeister is
You mean
like,
Rachel Zegler?
this is my webtoon, but I don't care. It sucks.
You
I'm
mean
not
the
gonna watch it.
Rachel Zegler
I'm not
effect?
gonna go check that out.
No, like I'm saying, like I would have had to swallow my pride and just be like, I gotta, because like the thing is, that's how you get a second chance. Like maybe it would have been an Incredible
Mm.
Hulk 2 if he had pushed Incredible Hulk. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
just want to
Mm.
say quickly, maybe you guys have mentioned it before. This is the one of the movies I didn't even bother watching in cinemas. I don't think I've even watched it from beginning to end. I've always cut clips in
Wow.
between here and there because
Alexa, play A Hero
So
Falls.
far, you're not representing
Alexa,
Marvel well.
Alexa,
He's
Alexa.
our Simon. He's our
Alexa,
Simon, guys.
please,
Are
A
you
Hero
sure?
Falls.
Are you sure you like Marvel? What's going on?
Yo, Simon out here.
no, because look, this was in the interim phase of me trying to discover who I was. So I really didn't know where I was falling in the comic love. So I was like still experimenting in my own identity. But at the same time, it was also this movie. It made me feel compared to the first one, which was also boring, but at least I had decent eye candy in Eric Bana. This one didn't even give me that, so I couldn't finish it
The
twice.
Eric Banner one? Yeah, the decent eye candy?
Eric Bana is hot.
Eric Bana's a handsome man, bro. Like,
Sure, but
Eric
the
Bana,
movie did not portray his handsomeness.
of course it didn't. Because this is just fresh after watching Troy. So I saw plenty of eye candy from him in Troy, and it was all I needed. It was like, that
okay,
guy,
okay,
I'll
okay,
fly
guys,
to
let's go
Australia.
back. Let's go back to the ratings. Buck, what's your rating?
Okay, just to give you my quick thoughts on this movie, Incredible Hulk is so underrated. I think it captures the essence of the Hulk the best. I don't think Hulk has been ever distilled better in live action film than in this movie. They nerf him a lot, but they don't take away the raw essence of the Hulk, which is what makes this movie work. So you can say that it's basically maybe he's acclimatizing to his powers or whatever the case is. So he's not the Hulk in terms of strength, but in terms of savagery, he was. The car glove, the car glove thing is one of the most cool but useless things that I've seen. It's so cool, but when you think about it, it's like you probably didn't need that. um, this Hulk would have definitely gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds with Thanos. He wouldn't have just taken that L and sat
Oh,
down.
the hell no. Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
that's true.
This Hulk, like, he would have skipped everybody on the battlefield. Where is Thanos?
No, you see, here's the thing. And
Give me
sorry to interrupt.
Thanos!
I just wanted to say, like, here's the thing that I find that I was missing from when I was found missing from the Hulk. That the Hulk Banner relationship was missing, puny Banner. For me, the Hulk was sort of a reference to Mr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the other way around, Dr. Jekyll, whatever his name is.
Yes, Jack and Hyde. Yes.
Yes. Yes, there is. Sure, there's the outward facing a huge torrent of mountains, but there's also a deep mental battle between these two opposing wills trying to control this body and like trying to contain a hurricane. And I miss that part of the dialogue because it also used to speak to me, which I used to like watching in the comics, but not so much was translated a
No, I
lot
mean
in the live
they do
adaptation.
some of that in the Incredible Hulk. That's what I really like. They do a separation of identity
Yes.
between the Hulk and Banner. And Banner's constantly worried about this nuke that he's got inside of him and all of that stuff. They portray that paranoia
And the nuke wants
really
to be
well.
let out. That's why he
Yeah.
hates puny Banner.
And also, it's just like I love how in the beginning where he was trying to tell that guy in Spanish, "You won't like me when I'm angry," but it's like you won't like me when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hungry." And then they piss him off, and then there's like, oh.
Oh, angry. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah.
And also like you get to see like they include like the thunderclap and like the way they use the thunderclap in this is really
Yeah.
cool. And the fight scenes with the Hulk are phenomenal in this. Like when he goes up against the army, when he goes up against even with Abomination, yeah, it's a lot of CGI going on, but there is, and that's the other thing. This movie has like snippets of humor, and the humor does work for me. Like there's one where Liv Tyler's getting pissed off, and Banner has to be like, "You need to calm down," and it's like, "Shh, I don't want to hear anything from you."
Excuse me?
Like that was really funny when they're trying to make out, and Banner's getting excited, and he's like, "Oh, damn it." Hulk, you cock blocker.
Yeah, that was a classic. That the cock blocking scene was a classic. I felt his pain, dog.
Oh my gosh. And then
Hey,
also
dude.
when he falls out of the plane to transform and he's like, okay, come on,
Oh,
come
shit.
on, come on. And then like Hulk is inside of him, he's like, oh, now you want me to come out. Hmm? Like
Yeah,
Hulk
that's
was
what
in there,
you
Hulk
said,
was
that's
in
what I'm
there,
missing.
like Hulk was in there like "Trolololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololololol. And then as soon as he hits the ground, that's when Hulk decides, all right, I can't
No.
let Banner die.
No, when he hits the ground, the thing that pissed him off was the pain. Like,
Yeah.
well, I
guys
don't
give
feel
me
like it.
YTT
Oh, what is
flashbacks.
that god awful pain in my back? Why didn't you land like that, you stupid son of a?
You guys are giving me YTT flashbacks because he did the same thing, remember?
Okay,
Any-
yeah. So
anyway.
scoring.
Yeah.
Point is, scoring for me, I'm gonna give this an 8.
All right.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
That's pretty
Zuko.
high. Okay, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the
Oh,
story.
just a side note, Tim Roth was also a great villain. But anyway, yeah.
Tim Roth was the ish. You saw his his maleficence.
Yeah.
Is that the word?
Malevolence.
Malevolence,
Yes, thank
yeah. There we
you.
go.
Yeah, I won, but we went to nice schools.
No. Give it to
You're an
props to
A1.
Rob.
So
Rob's data battles haven't run out. Me, that got out.
and also you understood his motivation. He was like, yo, bruh, I trained this hard. And then
This
some
man,
dude just gets this thing,
some
and now he's
geek,
like,
some
and some
high
geek,
school nerd who sits in the corner and is the quiet kid at school. He's the one
Yeah.
you're supposed to be scared of now. Nah.
So you
Nah.
understand, because that's ego pride thing. That's an ego pride thing. So that's why he becomes a. So his motivation to become the abomination is understandable. Um, um, and I think this movie focused more on Banner in Banner trying to tame the Hulk. Maybe that's why for Tebelo his Banner Hulk interaction was missing, because it focused more on the Banner side than on the Banner Hulk side. So maybe that's where it was also missing, but I thought it was a dope movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't understand why it got so much hate. I could understand some of the hate, but I didn't understand why it got so much hate. And I'll give it yeah, 7.8. I thought I enjoyed it.
Rob?
And also the general was such an like I thoroughly enjoyed his character. He
No,
was like
William
a
Hurt was
proper
also
asshole.
William Hurt was also really good in this. Like that's what I'm saying. For
Right.
me, it did the Iron Man thing without it being Iron Man.
Yeah.
And
It was a
also the
different
acting
story.
was so brilliant. I think that's also another thing. The acting was good in this movie. It didn't feel, in the words of that producer, it's just a comic book. It didn't feel, it felt like a good movie that happens to be based on a comic. I think that's why I enjoyed it, because the acting was good. The motivation for the characters was there. It was clear. It wasn't just, oh, I saw him once and he made me smile, and now I will risk my life for him. There was actual love story, so there was a reason she was doing all that. There was a reason he was like, okay, I'm not gonna lose control because I love you,
And I mean, that's why it was kind of frustrating that they never really brought her back into the MCU. But anyway,
So I give it a solid 7.8. I
yeah,
think the
believe
CGI, the CGI
score.
thing is the only reason I don't give it an 8. Okay, sorry. Next.
yeah, I think it had some. Okay, but anyway, next.
I like the CGI. I thought the Hulk with the muscle veins is fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, chubby, slightly, yeah.
No,
I
there were
like the
just some
muscle Hulk.
scenes, it's nitpicking. It's being a nitpicker.
No, I know, I understand fully. I mean, the Abomination fight was okay. For me, this movie gave me a lot of emotions, but I actually think with this movie, I think what they did was one of the things that made it better than the previous Hulk movie was I think that one tried to focus so much on Banner with like his past and all this other stuff and all these flashbacks. But with the quality of actors with this one, they managed to cover all of that and then push forward with the storyline. so quickly. Like you talked about how Tim Roth, who by the way, it's so funny that they got Tim Roth in because they had to work hard to explain his existence. Why is there a British guy here? Well, you see, there's a British work program. It's like it gave me Transformers flashbacks of the Romeo and Juliet law. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, the
God.
Romeo and Juliet law. It's like,
Yo. How dare you mention those words?
No, but like here's the thing though. At least that's like explaining Tim Roth. I get. At least like I can see why they felt the reason they need to. In Transformers, it's like, dog, this is a robot movie about action.
No,
Why
yeah.
would I even care?
No, they had to explain it because it's technically rape.
No, but I'm saying, why not just make them the same age?
just make her 18.
Just
You
make
finish.
her 18.
Can you-
I know.
The question
She's 20
is,
years
who's the
old
producer
anyway.
of the movie?
Michael Bay. But the point
And
is,
what's the problem with Michael Bay?
Yeah, dog.
but my point is,
He
this
don't
movie-
care.
He likes them young.
No, he doesn't know when to stop. It's like, okay, bro, you can stop. No. Vroom, vroom. Okay.
There will be explosions in space. Ah!
But anyway, Rob, you were saying?
Point is, this movie, I feel like what it did was it had a lot of explaining to do and had a lot of weightlifting. Like, for example, you guys talked about Tim Roth's character, where he had to kind of show how he's obsessed with age and how he's trying to become youthful and all these elements are involved with him. That were kind of only explained with not that much dialogue, but a lot of Tim Roth's acting himself.
Yes.
A lot of that was his own weightlifting. The flow of the storyline, I would argue, is a bit quick for my liking, but I actually think it's, again, with the weightlifting they're doing and the exposition they managed to push through really quickly. I really think they get a clean, smooth storyline. One day I wish we'll get a TV series about the Hulk with the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing that you mentioned, Tabitha. I really think that's something that needs to happen. I want to see the relationship between Hulk and thing. I don't want to get like a 5-year time skip. I'm Professor Hulk now. None of that nonsense. I would love to get that one day, hopefully. But yeah, all these things come together for a solid 8 out of 10. That's my opinion.
Okay. Guys, I didn't really enjoy this movie. I don't want to lie to you guys. There are some great moments.
Who
in the
are you
movie.
people?
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh.
No,
Blasphemous.
I enjoyed the Eric Boehner one. This one for me.
What?
I think I spoke to Zuko about this actually last year sometime. Norton for me, even I think I mentioned, yeah, he does look the part, he's thin and whatever. But you could tell that he was way too overconfident for this role. Sometimes I felt like I was watching Norton trying to be Banner. I didn't feel like he was Banner. So for me, his performance
broke
as
your imagination.
Banner,
Okay.
Okay.
for me, his performance as Banner, if he was way too self-conscious, like you could tell how pompous he is in the role.
Yo.
So for me, that just turned me off completely.
You should use the word pompous.
Tyler was
Good use of
fine.
the word.
Tim Roth was
I don't know, Extraordinary. There's been
what
comic
else
books
is
where
there?
I'm saying there's been comic books where Banner has been that way, and like I feel like this Banner, like he's now comfortable being on the run. Like I feel like with this Banner in the story, they tried to tell you that he's kind of been at this for years.
Yes.
So that's why
what it
for
was, yeah.
me, I didn't feel like he was pompous. It just felt like he
He was
knows his
experienced.
No,
situation.
he is not talking. He's not talking about Banner. He's talking about what's his name?
Norton.
The actor.
Norton.
Norton's performance of Banner.
I'm talking about the actor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm talking about
I-
Norton. I'm not talking about Banner.
Are you saying pompous in his performance in the
Yes.
movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
have
where
to
we
watch this
disagree. But
again.
anyway.
I'm gonna have to watch it again
No,
just to.
it's okay. It's okay. We can disagree, but I'm just talking about my experience watching
Okay,
it.
cool. Go ahead.
It's not a thing. I just wanted to see I just wanted
so,
to see your
yeah.
perspective.
Pardon?
No. Go ahead, Chief. Floor's yours.
No, I was just saying it's not that I don't think you can have a different opinion. I'm just saying I'm trying to see your perspective. That's why I'm saying I want to rewatch it just so
So,
that I
yeah,
can see what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, look, I see it all the time with other movies and other actors as well. Sometimes the big star sometimes wants to just take over this entire production, and you see it in the performance. So for me, when I see movies like
Tom Cruise.
when I see movies like that, they just throw me off. I've seen Denzel Washington do it. I've seen all the guys that you mentioned do it
Yes.
now. So
No,
it just throws me
Denzel
off.
Washington beef.
So I
One
don't
day you're gonna
enjoy
have
the
to
movie
explain it to
anymore.
me.
I'll
What,
happily
Denzel?
sit down and give you the villain origin story. Thank you.
I'm curious.
Anyway.
Were you touched when you heard that Denzel was gonna be in Black Panther 3? Were you like, no?
For
No,
all
I wasn't.
unrelated, for all
Fox ain't got shit on me.
no, like Rob, the reason why I hate it is because it's such a PR move. Like they're trying to dance around the main character. That's why they went and got Denzel Washington.
And it's too late to have him in there.
And I mean,
Honestly.
and
Not
what's
only
the
is it
point
too
of
late,
us
it's just
type of
it's a publicity stunt. It's just like okay, this is the black franchise. Let's get premier black actors. Who are they gonna play? Doesn't matter. Denzel's in the movie. Yeah, but T'Challa's still dead. Denzel's in the movie. Yeah, but
One
the main
Denzel,
character
don't you?
Denzel is in the movie. But the story doesn't make Denzel is in the movie. That's all they're
But
doing.
you see, this goes back to that toys thing that we were talking about earlier on. Instead of a toy, now it's Denzel.
Okay, but
Yeah.
You're for Rob.
Rob. What Rob? Yeah.
Like,
No
guys,
ways, Rob. No.
Marvel, make
Yo,
the
Rob,
movie
Rob,
good.
too.
Everything else will flow from there. If you make the movie good, it will sell. It will sell the toys. It will sell the merchandise. It will sell the tickets. It will sell. Focus on making the movie good. Stop worrying about the extras. The extras come because
Guys,
the movie is good.
guys, you forget Marvel and them are fighting a losing war.
Okay, but anyway, I think we
It's
gotta move
because
on.
it's
Yeah,
because they
it's-
want hype over a good movie. You make a good movie, you get hype.
Yeah.
it's not like it's Ryan Gosling. I
Make it
mean,
a
he's one of the
7
best
there,
actors of our
boss.
time.
What? Ryan Gosling cannot act to save
Okay,
his
guys,
life.
guys,
Ryan
guys.
Gosling
That's
can't
the point
act.
of saying
in a
Denzel.
point of order.
Fine,
X,
fine.
you were saying?
Before people stop spear tackling each other over the internet.
Mortal Kombat.
Saying
X.
just give it a 7.
Oh, okay. I was expecting a much
7,
worse
please.
score. The way you were talking about it, I was
No, I
expecting a.
wanted to give it a 6, but I was just being lenient.
Don't be scared.
I wanna-
Don't be scared.
Ah, yeah,
I
stand on
want
it.
to
Stand
give
on
it a
business,
Do you
6.
bro.
want? Do you want a 6 or not?
Business, buddy.
Stand on business, buddy. Don't
10
be
toes
scared.
down when they.
I give it a 6.
Eba too.
Wait a
Give it a
minute.
6.
Just because you're sitting
Give it a
down don't
6.
mean you can't stand on business.
10 toes down, buddy.
Look, okay.
Like,
For me,
guys, there's no Marvel movie, there's no MCU movie that feels like this movie ever after this movie.
Yeah,
Nah,
I agree.
there's no
That's
movie
what
that
makes
feels
it
like
And
this
I
special.
think it's one of their detriments.
That's what makes it
That's
so
why
good
it
because
sucks.
it was
unique.
actually good in terms of the acting and stuff.
Yeah, okay, yes.
okay. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's not gonna come as a surprise. Look, for me, I was gonna give it the same scoring as Iron Man.
So you also want to say 6?
No, he
No,
wants it lower. Come on.
I could have cut it lower, but let's think. There are a few decent features about this movie. Any movie that has Aaron in it is going to be somewhat entertaining. I mean, I've watched that stupid movie about a rock coming to hit us from outer space with Bruce Willis because of Aaron and
Don't wanna close my
So,
eyes.
what was it called
I
again?
agree.
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Yeah, God, that
Armageddon.
movie.
That is one of my favorite horrible, terrible movies ever.
And it had Ben Affleck when I had the biggest crush on Ben Affleck at the time. And it still didn't save that movie. It's like, what the hell?
You say.
No, that movie where you objectively it's bad, but you don't care because it's enjoyable as fuck.
It's so campy.
It's so
And-
enjoyable, bro. I
and-
can watch
and-
it.
and
I've
it's-
probably watched that movie more than 10 times. Every time it plays on ETV, I'm there. Boom.
It's the same as that terrible movie about going to the center of the earth core. What was up with the late 2000s and movies about the end of the world? Oh,
It hasn't stopped. 2012.
Why
yeah, I just caught
Remember
myself like,
movies?
oh, crap.
Movies come out in
2012,
themes.
Y2K.
Hey, yeah.
If you pay attention, movies come out in themes. So if one movie makes a hit, that's why if a horror makes a hit, there'll be a bunch of horrors. If rom-coms are making hits, there'll be a bunch of rom-coms.
That's why
If
after
an
the
action
MCU, we have like so many cinematic universes where it was like, guys,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah, but also don't
the
forget.
reason the Fast and the Furious could get a cinematic is because of the MCU, because it was so good. And
Yeah,
then they build up on that, and then because it already had a good solid audience for it.
Okay, but
So
Mhm. Yeah.
no, I'm done.
Okay,
So
I was
now,
gonna say, but don't forget there's cultural themes as well. There's also, like, for example, I think we've discussed this. I think Kutsu knows what I want to say. But there's also times when the culture wants to, what's the word? When the culture,
hyperfixate.
yeah, they fixate on something. Like, for example, there was a recent spate now when the Equalizer,
Pivot.
John Wick, where where dad films were really important. Do you know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
of course, Dirty Harry, the 1970s when the U.S. crime rate was at its highest, with Dirty Harry, was it Death Wish? Yes, Death Wish.
Death Wish, thank you.
Yeah, and all those movies came. Do you know what I mean? There's also times when the culture is feeling a certain way. And I really do think at that time, wasn't that the time that Super Size Me and like all these other things were happening at that same time? Do you know what I mean? I think it was after Y2K, but there was other stuff that was happening at when was that? 2008? 2006? When was Armageddon? Does anyone know?
I can't remember.
No idea.
Because remember, it was Armageddon. It was it Point Break? Not Point Break. It was something with Morgan
something
Freeman.
break.
It was Morgan Freeman. Where the also comics as well coming to end the
Morgan
war.
Freeman and
I'm
Bobo.
looking it up now.
Okay, but
1998.
wait.
Armageddon came out in 1998.
Oh, I'm
Oh
old.
my
bro.
God.
Oh my God.
98.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
it's, Morgan
guys,
Freeman and-
Kai.
Okay,
Great cinema talk. Develo, you need to rate Incredible Hulk, please.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hey, Shim. Shout out to Buckmaster being the youngest, yet being the most mature of the whole group. He's like the adult of the keeping us in line. I'm gonna give it a.
I wanted to stop you guys a long time ago because I wanted to tell you guys we're only on our second film and it's almost like 2 hours in.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because, like I said, I couldn't finish this entire movie. There wasn't decent enough eye candy for me to pay attention to the movie from beginning to end. I don't care how British this guy was. He wasn't doing it for me. And
Well, Develo, you've been rating movies by how attractive the people are in the movies. What
Yes.
about the plot points?
Oh, you like movies.
The plot
Yes.
points, the themes, eye candy.
Develo was like, fuck plot,
I
fuck
want.
scene, fuck everything.
Who
He's that
can I
eye
Sponsor for
candy.
farms.
Who's going to
Zaddy?
be my imaginary?
He was like, fuck the message, fuck the music score.
Who
Is
shall be
that
my
eye candy?
imaginary lover after this movie?
Yeah, I'm saying, who is Zaddy? That is
Who's
Develo's
ready
rating
this movie?
system.
I was like, there's no.
I'm
one
actually
here.
scared for what Debelo's gonna say about Iron Man 2.
Oh, here we go.
The only thing left for Tibelo to do now is just to release the tri-beam with those many Fs. But anyway,
right.
okay, so Iron Man 2, right? Just a few things before we start. Budget 170 to 200 million. Box office over 623 million.
Ooh, crushed it.
Terrence Howard is gone now. He's replaced by Don Cheadle. We finally have Sam Rockwell, who was supposed to. He could have been Iron Man if they didn't get Robert Downey, basically. So now they brought him back, but they made him Justin Hammer, right?
Excellent casting choice.
Underutilized villain.
Yeah. And then you have Mickey Rourke as Whiplash. And then you have Scarlett Johansson now coming in for the first time as Black Widow. She could have actually been portrayed by Emily Blunt, but she stepped out of the role to do Gulliver's Travels, which bombed. So I guess that really helped.
She must
Scarlett
be so
Johansson's
mad.
career.
She must be so mad. Ooh, missed out on a career opportunity of a lifetime. Okay, look,
I can say the same
thing.
thing about Sean Connery and being Gandalf. Life goes on.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
Connery could have been Gandalf. Look here, Bobo. What conjurer do you take me? Do you take me for a conjurer of cheap
No, Ian McKellen was the better choice. Let's be honest.
You shall not pass.
No, I think Ian McKellen was the better choice. Honestly, let's not.
Oh, I think I just want to say one last thing before Buckmeister comes in. So this is the movie that really caused tension between Jon Favreau and the studio, because there was a lot of things like there was a lot of red tape to a certain degree.
Be right back, guys.
And he expresses that in the movie called Chef that he does afterwards, which is basically like an allegory of what happened.
Brilliant movie. Brilliant
So-
movie.
I haven't watched that whole. I haven't watched that. I haven't like seen that movie. I need to actually see it, but I've seen like clips of it and everything. Like I've seen bits and pieces, and the
yourself
bits
a
and
favor,
pieces
bud.
are
It
really
is
good.
So good.
yeah.
And
So-
also,
I've watched
what
it
I
about
like
5
is,
times.
and also what I like is like I've heard a lot of stuff around that movie, Chef, and everything. He
Mhm.
like also admits that as much as they were meddling in it, it's like they were worried about like he doesn't hold it against them. Which
Yeah.
is something I really like Favreau as a creator for. He's like, he's not one of those guys where he'll just write off every executive or whatever. He's just like, yeah, you're getting in my way, you're getting in the way of the project, but I understand why. But if you can just get out of my way, I can give you what you want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these guys can't have carte blanche. Do you know what I mean? We've had George Lucas, you know what I mean, with
Right.
carte blanche. We've
Right.
had Ridley Scott with carte blanche.
Right.
It goes wrong. We need someone to at least go, why is this happening? Do you know what I mean? At least.
Yeah,
No, but I
don't
don't even
overdo
think
it,
it was
though.
more about why it was happening. It was kind of just about like we need to get this out. Like the thing is
Yeah.
with Iron Man 2, ne? I don't know if it was Universal at the time, or I don't know if this is where we're transitioning. I think it's where we're transitioning.
This was
It's where, yeah,
MCU.
it's where we're
Yeah.
transitioning into the MCU. They just spent a lot of money on this thing. Iron Man 1 is a hit or whatever. So they need this to be out as soon as possible, and they're not really worried about all the story elements coming together. Because I'm gonna say this about Iron Man 2. There's stuff in here. It doesn't connect all as well as it should. Not all the pieces interlock, but there is a lot of stuff in here. Like for example, they do Demon in a Bottle in this,
Yes.
which
they
it's
do.
not. But I'm saying it's not exactly like the way they add the way they like adapt it is like they kind of blow it out of proportion because it wasn't that big of a deal in comic books until it's kind of became a big deal. If you guys get what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd have to reread Demon in a Bottle again, but like that run doesn't just solely focus on Tony Stark's alcoholism. Yo, how you say it's called?
Alcoholism.
Yeah.
Alcoholism, that one.
Yeah, I loaded my
Yeah.
English bundles.
Yeah, alcoholism. Yeah, it doesn't really focus on that stuff. But yeah, we get to Iron Man 2. Yeah, they're focusing on that stuff like that. Like Tony Stark may have turned over a new leaf, but he still has very destructive personality traits. Like you can tell that he's trying to right his ship, but it's not that easy. You
Yeah.
know? It's not like he comes off of Iron Man 1 and like he's now on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
No, it's like he's
Mm.
constantly falling off the horse and all of that stuff, and he's like trying to put himself together and everything. And that's
Yeah.
why like and also like his relationship with Rhodey in this is that like Rhodey represents a lot of the government,
Yes.
and Tony can see that Rhodey is trying to manipulate him for the government. And like coming off of Iron Man 1, Tony has this hard line in the sand about his weaponry. So there's like stuff like that, which is why they end up fighting and all of that stuff and everything. But then also Tony realizes that he needs to put faith in others in this movie, which is why he eventually gives up on keeping the suit away from Rhodey because he's like, I don't know these other guys, but I know Rhodey. And I know Rhodey's not going to just use this, he's not going to be irresponsible. So
Yeah.
that's why he can like, I'll give this to Rhodey, but everybody else is not getting anything. Justin Hammer also in this is really, really cool. He's the anti-Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But he has as much charisma as Tony Stark. He has as much things, but like his stuff doesn't work as well. But you're just like, I would have loved to have seen you guys go up against one another. It would have been fantastic. And then also Whiplash, right? His setup is not bad. Like the fact that Tony's company screwed over his father, and technically his father created the blueprint for arc reactor technology. but Tony took those blueprints and created his arc reactor. So everybody gives the credit to Tony's brain, but it's something that his father did. And like that left him broke, left him and his family broke and all of that stuff. So
That's messed up.
so him coming to get revenge on Tony Stark, you're like, yeah, and it's not Tony Stark's fault because this was before Stark was Stark. But like
But
you're
they
like,
chickened
yeah.
But
It
they
makes
chickened
sense.
out. Remember, because they ended up saying that he was selling the secrets to the black market, and that's why he got deported. They chickened out. They should have just left him as a purely good guy, just to make it more interesting, in my
True,
opinion.
but yeah, true. But anyway, what I'm saying is
Yeah.
that there's stuff in this movie. The
Mm.
problem is that it doesn't like Favreau doesn't have time to craft a story because now,
Can I ask the obvious question?
yeah,
How old is Nick Fury?
we don't know. But anyway,
Because
man.
because there's the one scene where they're going through the old footage with Tony's dad,
Infinity Formula, Chief.
and he's busy recording the footage. You could clearly hear that's Nick Fury talking to Daddy Stark.
In the
And I'm
comic
thinking, like,
book, he's around from the World War II, right?
Yeah.
Buck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the war
Well,
with Captain America, I think, or something like
Yeah.
that.
What did they
Yeah,
call him? The
no,
Roaring what?
he's there. Yeah, he's there before. Yeah, it's called the Infinity
The
Formula.
roaring
No,
something.
the Howling Commandos.
Howling
Yes.
Commandos. There we go.
oh, nah.
Trivia King, Buckmeister.
When that cat
Comic books.
scratched his eye, it took part of the infinity of the Tesseract and imparted it into
Yo, don't make me sad with the cat, please. Don't.
into
Oh.
Nick Fury's DNA.
Oh, my heart.
is the
I
only way I can
retconned that
explain it.
out of my brain. I retconned that out of
And
my
I
brain.
brought it back.
Yeah,
You
I
will-
will not process
I
that.
refuse to suffer alone.
Yeah. You see, you were my brother, Devilo, but in this episode.
Hi guys,
my enemy.
Black don't crack, guys. Come on,
Alright,
Black don't
guys.
crack.
Anyway, my point being, getting back to this movie, Iron Man 2, 6.9 for me is it's a rating I accept because I still think all the actors are really good in this. I still think all the character interactions are really good in this. You know, Debello, you like to talk eye candy. Like, yeah, Black Widow is forced in this movie, but it is like, hey.
Yeah, you were all what's Iron Man's best friend in that movie?
Rhodey.
Rhodey.
No.
No, not Rhodey. Happy Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy was
I'm-
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you,
happy.
you were all looking at her. You were not keeping your eyes on the road. I was the only one like, Drew, you're gonna crash. What are you looking at? Then I realized, oh yeah, Hannah, me.
Hey
That's for me.
man.
I'm just saying. I was watching it for the plot, but also,
Well,
Okay.
the plot is the plot
butt
is very
was-
blunt.
yeah, no, the plot was.
Oh wait, she was
thick.
a redhead in this, no?
No,
Yes.
the plot was thick. I'm gonna tell you right now. They stirred that plot up really nice.
I just want to say, it may surprise every one of you, but Iron Man 2 is technically my favorite Iron Man movie.
What?
What?
Gosh,
happening?
gosh,
Who
Gosh.
are you right
Why
now?
am I very nervous? What is
You don't
Like,
say it.
do we
no.
even know you?
You don't
No,
say.
you know what? I need the anime speed lines around my face.
the falling one?
You know who I am right now. Do you remember that Mr. Crab meme? I'm
How
literally the
many
Mr.
fingers?
Crab meme right now.
What? What does it surprise you?
No, it's okay. You'll give us your reasons when
Your
it's your
M. Night
turn.
Shyamalan
Sooks?
twist.
What's your take?
For me, I felt this movie, the thing that let it down is it had scenes. It didn't have a structure. It had a lot of good scenes, but the scenes didn't always interconnect nicely into each other. So they didn't the flow of the movie wasn't always sharp. So I think that's what I mean. There's a lot of little nice scenes like when like the first time we meet Black Widow and then Tony Stark asks her to go into the gym and she does the thing and then he goes like, I want one. And then Pepper's like, no. Like that was a cool scene.
Yeah.
But there's no more cool scenes with Pepper involved. I mean, Pepper's literally running the company now. We don't see what happens to that, you know?
Right.
So we don't see, because we
You
know
see
that,
some of it, but not enough.
yeah, you see, the market is reacting weirdly to it because of that guy's like, Tony Stark, sell your thing, and he's hitting the cups off his table. But you don't see really anything after that about what's happening with the
Yeah.
company.
Kramer, the worst analyst in the real world ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't know if you know who that guy is. He's a real life analyst.
yeah.
And he's famous for having some of the worst marketing decisions in the world. There's even a thing where you can actually bet stock markets on the opposite of his decisions, and apparently it's profitable. But anyway, just a trivia.
Yeah, okay. I did. So that's a nice little tidbit. Um, so for me, I just felt it had too many scenes and not enough
No,
structure.
there is a lot of fluff in this, and you can feel that it's the executives. Like a big example was when they had to do the Captain America Easter egg. They were just like,
Mm,
Captain America's coming, guys. He's
mm.
coming. And it's like, okay, but I'm watching Iron Man right now.
Gotta jangle the keys. Gotta jangle the keys.
And then also like Mickey Rourke was freaking dope as Whiplash. He came through. He did his thing. Like that Monaco scene is like one of my favorite
Dude,
scenes.
that transformation scene where like Tony Stark pulls out like I
The
wish they
case,
didn't spoil it in the
the
trailer.
briefcase.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
But like for
briefcase
me, I
scene.
was lucky. I just got to see it in the theater because I was like, oh, it's just a Marvel movie. I'm just going to the theater. Yo,
Oh,
that transformation
was
in the
the
theater
trailer
was
was crazy,
live.
dog. We were
The
interested
Mark
because of
5.
that scene in the trailer.
It's
No, but I'm
Mm.
saying I feel
that's
like
the
they
Mark
should have
5, by the
saved
way.
it. But I feel like, I feel like they should have saved it. Silver Centurion should have been a surprise in the movie because it was a surprise for me. So that's why also I'm like kind of fond on this movie because I was like, yo, that was one of the sickest transformations ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm. And also the Tony and Pepper stuff, there was not enough for for the ending to be what it was for me
Yeah, true.
personally.
Didn't
I,
they kiss
I
or something?
yeah, they kissed at the
Yeah, they
end,
did.
but like the whole time there wasn't really there was like no build up, no tension, no.
Well, I mean, I feel like they did a lot of legwork in Iron Man 1. That's why they felt like they could skip it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you need to
Definitely not.
continue it. I mean, you don't kiss your girl and then you stop and then you want to put it in. Like you still need to continue kissing her and holding her and stuff.
Whoa.
Fuck,
Okay.
I could have gone my entire life.
No,
Okay,
you couldn't
sorry,
have.
Tevelo.
It was
You don't kiss
important
your
for the
man
second.
and then you stop and you want something else and then you come back to him. Are you happy now?
Yeah. Zuko, that's not what's shocking me. Thank you. But
So I just
thanks for
feel
the
like,
inclusion. Thank you. Mutual
hey
trouble for
man.
all.
So I just feel that was because also there was a lot of stuff that was unnecessary that they could have focused more on the Pepper and Tony stuff. You know, they could have
True.
just
And I feel like they should have like as much as Sam Rockwell was in this, I feel like he like Hammer gets too much screen time. Like more stuff should have gone to Whiplash.
mm. And also the interaction between Hammer and Whiplash was nice. So if you wanted more Sam Rockwell, you could have then done more of them because
True.
that they had a good chemistry.
Mm.
So because of that, I'll give it a 6.7. It was enjoyable. It was, but I just felt there was things missing that would have like if they just added a few more things, this would have been or if they would have just taken like one or two things here, add one or two things there, this could have been a solid 7.6 without even 7.5 without even trying. But I'll give it a
No, like
6.7.
it had potential to really be an 8 for me, or even a 9. It could have been better than Iron Man 1, but I just think
Yes.
they meddled, like executives meddled too much. They stood too much in Favreau's way, and they were just like, we
Mm.
need to get ready for the Avengers.
Because also
Like
remember, Tony's still also on his redemption arc, and then he finds out he's dying, and he basically reverts back to old Tony. But then there's really, I'm not sure if I'm misremembering, but there's really nothing that hardcore brings him back to his redemption arc. There's like no Jensen moment that
no, I
hardcore
mean,
like
I think a
there's
good
moments, but there's not like a true Jensen moment that like gives him his will to fight for his humanity. for
No,
me personally.
I'll say what I will say though is that he doesn't relapse fully because he's still a very hard no on weapons, but he does have a lot of destructive habits, and I think his fight with Rhodey, where they almost kill a bunch of innocent people, I think that's part of the thing where it sobers him up that he needs to change. I think
But
that's where
true,
it was
but
supposed
then
to.
that's
But then I'm
where
saying the problem is with the
that
movie
could
is
have
that
been
they
now a
don't.
scene where Pepper comes in,
Yeah, but
and
I'm saying like that's what I'm
that
saying.
would
Like
have built the
we're saying,
Pepper and Tony
yeah,
in.
like
That's
we're
I
saying
think
the
that's my
same.
point.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing is that there's a lot of good pieces, but they don't interlock.
Yeah.
So it's like it feels very it's kind of like it's kind of like with like Zack Snyder a little bit. Like if you watch Batman versus Superman, scenes in isolation are really good, but when you're supposed to watch it in terms of a movie, it's just like this scene has nothing to do with that one. So I
Mm,
don't know why we're here now. So yeah, a lot of that happened in Iron Man 2.
yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's just what so yeah, I'm done.
Rob?
Cool. Yeah. I would agree with a few of the things you guys said, definitely. This movie, it does a lot of heavy lifting, but it is like Buck said, but it's distracted, but it's distracted from itself and it comes together in a weirdly slow pace. It doesn't
Mm.
flow nicely.
Yes, the pace as well.
The sum of the parts are kind of a failure. Like you guys said, the individual parts work, but the sum of the parts don't work. In fact, there's a shameless plug, Karate Kid discussion that me and Kutso have, where we talk about a set piece. You guys know what a set piece is, right? In
Mm-hmm.
film,
Have an idea.
it's basically like a collection of scenes where basically a single event kind of happens. If you guys have
Okay.
seen, a good example would be the build up from like Spider-Man, which was the third one, Far From Home, or no, Homecoming, no, third one,
No
Some
Way
home.
Home. No
No
Way
Way,
Home.
something with a home, yes, No Way Home, where it goes from them activating the thing, and it turns out to be a trap to Mary Jane's death, like that one scene, and it's like one big momentum flow. There's nothing really proper like that. One could argue the racetrack scene, but there's with Karate Kid, right? One of the things that's so special about the Karate Kid movies, one and two, is that the writing itself is so interconnected and is so layered that even a simple scene is doing more than one thing at the same time. And I feel like this movie, I feel like maybe it needed a couple more drafts or something, but there weren't enough things happening at the same time where we'd have enough time to get all these things done. Because like what Zuko is saying about the romance, yeah, you're right. We should have moved on because there should have been an element of, okay, now that she's CEO and she's not with me all the time, what's the relationship look like now? Do you know what I mean? There should have been more of that. There should have been more of the alcoholism. There should have been more, but because they weren't multitasking, to me, it detracted from the total sum of the parts. It just didn't feel
Well,
right
that's what I'm
done.
saying is that when Farrell was talking about it, I mean, you guys say that they cover it in Chef, and I've seen some scenes from Chef where I'm just like, oh yeah. It's just like executives panicked way too early. And I think the distraction comes from the fact that executives are trying to shove in as much Avengers material as possible. Like one of the things that's a big criticism with the MCU is that they have to advertise for the next movie. And it got to a point where people were just like, I'm going to be there anyway. Why are you trying to advertise this? Like, you
Yeah.
got my money already. Like, I know, I know, okay? Like, I'm already
I want to
here, I'm
say it, but I'm
seated
not
in
going
the
to say it.
theater.
So I'll
But
be a big boy.
anyway,
It's not my channel. It's not my channel.
Yeah.
It's not my
Well, don't
channel.
worry, my
It's not
turn is
my channel.
basically done. So again, missing parts. And because of that, it had less weight. So I'm actually gonna give it a 6 point. Oh damn, you guys already have I didn't even see that. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 6.8.
oh, okay, we're not too far off from the IMDb.
Yeah,
Mm.
this one makes sense. The Winter Soldier one doesn't, but this one makes sense.
Dang.
Okay, so just a few things that I actually initially wanted to share with you guys, but so I think we did mention that Don Cheadle comes in here. He didn't have beef with Terrence Howard, by the way. They are boys. They've been working together for a while. I mean, they were both in Crash,
Mm.
so it was not a problem, contrary to what people usually say. John Slattery plays Howard Stark in here. And the footage that they used there was basically an homage to Walt Disney videos that he used to do in the past. For instance, one of the most famous videos that I can think of from the top of my head was when he was outlining what Epcot would be. So that the whole reason of that whole thing of him speaking to the camera, talking to Tony in the future, talking about the future and the technology not being great yet. It's Walt Disney, basically. So for me,
I hope he's proud of the behemoth he's created.
who knows? For me,
Well, considering how they handle a lot of the black projects, I think he is.
Hence, I'm looking at the screen.
yeah, look, the other thing that
Dracarys.
I think I didn't mention is Mickey Rourke. He was also not happy with this film. He believes that there are a lot of scenes that were cut out that actually
Oh, you can see it. There's a lot
portray
of stuff
more.
was cut out.
Yeah, so Whiplash had more scenes that I guess you could say really flesh out his character a bit more, and they were cut out, and he was not happy about that at all. But anyway, I liked the movie. I think you guys already mentioned the scene with the boxing scene with Scarlett Johansson. My goodness, I don't think she's ever looked as great as she did there
No.
specifically.
There's some shots in
Never
Avengers.
argue with me again about the eye candy.
Well, we're
Oh, we
talking
hear
about
you.
other
We hear
things,
you.
but also
No. We actually like the movie. You just like the eye candy.
yeah, it's an addition. It's
an
the main course.
It's not the only thing, no?
Yeah, but
It's an addition.
This man, dog.
you literally lost interest in the movie because they didn't have eye candy. We watched
Yes.
it, and then the eye candy was the
anyway.
cherry on top. So please, we're not the same.
Anyway, yeah,
Is
I
he
think,
not like us?
I think Zuko mentioned it
Okay.
already. It's like Pepper's like Tony's like, what is that? Pepper's like sexual harassment or something like that.
There's
That's
such a
hilarious.
harassment case waiting to happen.
Yeah,
Yes.
sexual harassment waiting to happen.
Anyway, yeah, man, it feels disjointed. You guys are right. You do have like I would say three main characters: Tony, what's this guy? Hammer and
Flash.
Rhodey, because they sort of like lead the story. Hammer and Whiplash, I'd put them in the same category. But
Okay.
Rhodey, Tony, and Hammer / Whiplash. Yeah, that's why I think
And
it feels a bit
also, if the
disjointed.
characters are not heading into a collision course, it makes them being going on different paths and then only colliding later, but you don't see the potential collision initially. It makes it harder to. I mean, the
look,
collision.
I'll say
it's
this.
there, but it's just.
Yeah, I'll
it's
say
there,
this.
but it's
they do present it, but I think the thing is they don't flesh it out. Like, for example, right?
yeah.
When we go from hammer robots going wild and about to destroy everything, Sorry. Yeah, when that's happening, and then then you've got Whiplash is over here trying to kill Tony Stark, and those things aren't connected. That's where it's just like, yeah, I can see that this story didn't have time to interlock and mesh. Like if for example, right, Hammer was interested in one-upping Tony, but then Whiplash managed to hack Thingy's technology
Jarvis.
to target it. Yeah, not even Jarvis. I'm saying like he hacked Hammer technology or Hammer tech to go and target Thingies, and then basically like he also managed to like basically like you could say Whiplash was trying to sync the entire operation of both parties. To, like maybe there's something Hammer did to him as well, and he's trying to make it look like, yeah, I'm gonna terrorize everybody with this thing and show people how bad this tech is. And then there's like and then there's like a collision course there, and like Tony has to figure out how to stop all of these robots from going crazy. That could have been something, but like the fact that the finale even feels disjointed, where you're like, why? How does Hammer connect to Whiplash, or like were they even ever connected? That's where I'm like, yeah.
No, I hear you. I think the battle with Rhodey and Tony, together fighting Whiplash was really great. I think for me, it's one of the things that really stood out,
It was a
especially
good fight scene.
seeing how comfortable Don Cheadle is. I mean, Don Cheadle didn't even feel like he was still getting his feet wet. It's like he was already in the first film. You know what I mean? He was so confident. He was so charismatic. I mean, even at the end, while they were kissing, it's like, look, Tony, I'm taking the suit and I'm not even asking. And he left.
Wait, who was kissing?
Tony
yeah,
was kissing
Tony and Pepper.
Let me dream. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
The way you said it, it suggested that Don Cheadle and Tony's
Hence, like I said,
I'm
let me
just,
dream.
I was just expecting that you guys already know what I'm talking about.
Ah,
Clearly, I
Taylor
was
just got
wrong.
a new
Like-
couple now.
New
Clearly, I was
faces
wrong.
we're brewing in my head already. It's like,
New
And the one
couple
man,
alert. New
the one
couple
man,
alert.
the one man that was heroic from the beginning is still getting screwed over because Armor Wars now is
It's cancelled.
another day. My rating for this, I'm with Zook on this one. Immediately when he made this call, I was like, yep, I'm with him. 6.7.
Look, and for a movie this disjointed, it's not a terrible score.
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about a 6.7 now is that I think this movie beats a lot of movies that are coming out this year.
Oh hell
It-
yeah!
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
crow's
yeah.
ass.
No, without a doubt. It's not even a competition.
Phase 4 wished it was Iron Man 2.
wow. Wonder Vision wishes. All right.
Yeah,
Tebello,
it's
it's you.
time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Look, I'll keep it short and sweet because I know I'm in the extreme minority. It is my favorite of the three Iron Man movies.
Yo, Shyamalan plot twist. Yo.
Shame.
Let's do it, man. Let's take your
Shame.
time, bro.
Yeah, no,
Shame.
no. Look, you guys are looking at it from, which rightfully so, from comic professionals, from even the neurotypical perspective. Good for an ADHD addict like me who keeps my attention, who needs everything in the universe to keep my attention. This movie kept my attention from beginning to end, even with its disjointed nonsense. Which you are right, it was disjointed. If the biggest issue with a character is that he's not communicating, and that's the one thing that's carrying the plot forward, is then you just know you've got a very bad plot. I'm not going to lie. Tony Stark should have just been honest. Guys, I'm dying.
He's too wrapped up in himself. Like the thing is, Tony is like it's a 12-step program. Like it took a bomb and Yinsen dying to get it started, but he's still on the steps. I mean, we get into later movies, he's still exhibiting some of those same behaviors because he is stubborn.
That being said, now let's flesh out that aspect a little more. But to have somebody behaving crazy by himself and then people wondering, what's going on with him? What is possibly happening? Oh no, come on.
But that's what happens when you have someone that's self-reliant, bro. Like it's like Buckmeister said, his stubbornness comes from the fact that he's self-reliant. For the most part, he solves his own
That
problems.
would have been a
So if he
wonderful
struggles,
thing if they added
Okay.
it to the
Fair
added it to the ultimate final product.
Yeah, he's
Fair
right.
enough.
Right now we're using headcanon. No,
Yeah.
you're right. Tabela's
No,
right. Right now
it's not
we're adding our own-
headcanon. It's
we're
not
adding our
head.
own stuff.
No, it's not headcanon. They show it in the movie. Like
Yeah.
they do bring it up. The problem is that they
It's
don't
show,
spend
don't
time
tell.
with it.
Yes, it's show, don't tell. It's show, don't tell.
No, like for example, that's why with his fight with Rhodey, he's always just like, you guys are trying to like take stuff from me, and he like makes it about himself. And Rhodey is just like, dude, you're in an Iron Man suit and you're like a danger to everybody. And he's like, yeah, but you're just trying to take my weapon. Like Tony makes it about himself because that's the thing. He's been the solution to his own problems. Like he got himself out of the cave. He got
Yes.
himself back
Yeah.
home. They show that stuff, but they
Exactly.
don't spend time with it. That's what I'm saying. Like you see it in isolation, but it doesn't play through the movie. That's one of the issues.
Yeah, so that among many other glaring
Yeah.
problems that are prevalent. But what I did enjoy about this movie, the action sequences, wow, they were fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
they
good
were
action.
too much fun. I mean, you could see the different characterizations in the different in between Tony and Rhodey, even in the way they're utilizing the armor. Look, for an example, when Rhodey's armor was hijacked by Whiplash and everybody was busy, all the drones were busy attacking Iron Man and was trying to fly off the place. You could see even in that situation, Tony was having fun. Why did he have to pause in the middle of a flight sequence so that he can glide and drift over a river while all these other drones were chasing him?
Style points, bro.
Like, this guy is having the time of his life, and he just
Fighting drones is for tonight, but
I know.
but cool points are forever.
Exactly. Like, oh, okay, there's this kid trying to shoot a drone. Okay, let me land right next to this kid, knock him down, and then make this kid feel like, why?
Okay, that was
Fun,
a cool
fun
scene.
fact,
No fun.
fun fact, Tom Holland called Kevin Feige to be like, yeah, just make that Peter Parker. Everybody's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's Peter Parker.
even John Watts. I think John Watts is the director of Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
He's the one actually that said it first, I think.
Oh
Then
yeah.
Tom Holland supported, yeah.
So, look, there's so many fun things about this. Even the final fight, even though the ending was sort of like anticlimactic, honestly, I was expecting more of a decent battle.
Yeah,
But
true.
that being said, so many fun things. I enjoyed it. I can rewatch that movie, and that's the one thing that gets me going. I can rewatch Iron Man 2. I can't,
Yeah.
for good conscience, rewatch Iron Man 1. It's still too. Ugh. So,
But just to support what you're saying, dude, there's a point where this is a serious battle, but Tony Stark is just showing he's just showing off to his best friend. It's like, yo, dude, check this out. And then I
yeah,
think he does like a laser thing.
No,
Yo,
like the thing
what's
is
going
like
on?
basically they're trying to one up each other, which is kind
exactly.
of funny because I'm just looking at like the War Machine. Like you do know you're talking to the guy who built the suit. You're not about to one
Exactly.
up, and then like Tony Stark in pure Tony Stark fashion. And this is why I'm like kind of soft with this movie a little bit. But like Tony Stark in pure Tony Stark fashion is like, oh okay, fine, you got some machine guns. How about a super laser?
You know? And then cut down an
and I
entire
think
forest.
I think even like Rhodey is just like, why didn't you just do this before? And he's like, I can only do it once, so I needed to be sure.
So there was
That's
that.
the chemistry, man. That's brilliant chemistry right there.
There's so many other fun sequences. I mean, I also enjoyed the whole Whiplash opening scene, cutting those Formula One cars in half. You could see this bad guy is also caught in his ego, savoring the moment. Had he been focused for a moment, one he could have killed Tony Stark at any moment. But he's
No, I
just
need to make him
savoring,
bleed.
you know, because his job, he didn't want to make Tony Stark a martyr. He wanted to ruin his name. So even in his loss, that's why he was still laughing, because he knows he lost, but
You
ultimately he
lose.
won that round.
Yeah, he won because of the hearing, which was the setup for the thing. Yes.
Yeah. So
Anyway, what's your rating, bro?
well, since you forced me to knock up ON11 from 7 to 8 from 6 to 7, I'll have to bump this one up from 7 to 8 then.
Wow.
8.
Yeah.
Why am I the only one that's standing to my ground? You can just change those things and make it 6 and 7. Like, I don't understand.
All right, sure.
No. Buckmeister gave me very compelling arguments to bump it up to 7. That much is true.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so in that case, then I really like
He was
9.
listening to his twin.
Hey, dog,
Where
we are
have
on
you been?
I'm saying we are on opposite sides because this is one plot twist for the ages. I
This
did
is what
not
happens
see.
when he spends time with the disgusting Zerg. The Zerg knows who he is.
All right. So the next
Thor.
one is Thor, right?
Yeah.
10 o'clock. Are we gonna make it?
No, I think let's let Captain America, the first Avenger, be the last one, and then we'll call it a night.
Right?
So you want to do
Because
a
Avengers
two?
is gonna need a lot of time for us to go through.
True.
Yeah.
So I guess we can dovetail from phase 1 into phase 2.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So just a few things before Buckmeister comes in. Kenneth Branagh. I think who's this? Rob and I did a review of one of his movies before, Frankenstein. He's an actor and a director. He did Murder on the Orient Express, and he started
Which
in it.
one?
Death on the Nile.
He directed both.
He directed both and starred in both.
Oh no! I mean,
You know,
okay.
there's three now, isn't there? Yeah, there's three.
Yeah, there's three. There's another one, and he was like the villain in Wild Wild West.
Yes.
Oh, was that him?
He
Yeah,
was
Yes.
that's
Dr.
him.
I used
Loveless.
to ride
He's
downtown in the
Lovelace.
Wild
Yeah.
Wild West.
Loveless was that is one of my favorite villains ever.
But
He's so
then with
hilarious.
That
Hey,
movie
those
was weird
jokes,
though.
Yeah,
those
but
bombs they
it
were throwing at each
No,
other.
it's one of those.
um,
It falls into those Armageddon movies. Like it's not good, but the characters are so hilarious. You enjoy it.
right.
and in my defense of there can be no Poirot except for Daisy Suchet. So
Say what?
that's everybody who's watched Hercule Poirot knows there can only be one Poirot. Everyone else is just an imitation.
Okay.
Oh,
Cookies
okay.
version.
I think
Yes.
you're talking about the old version or something.
Ah, yeah,
Cookies version. We're gonna
I
invite you
still
to the
watch
show
that
one
to
day.
this day. Anyway,
We're gonna
Okay.
invite you because
Okay,
we gotta do
okay,
a
okay.
show. about this.
Guys, we were
Yeah.
talking about time.
So
Extraordinary, you were saying?
yeah. So basically, what I was trying to say is the budget is 150 million. Box office it was over 449 million at the box office. So this was very
Nice.
successful. And then Liam Hemsworth was actually supposed to be Thor, but I think he's the one that actually suggested, no, my brother should play this or something like
No,
that.
you mean Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston was
No,
supposed to.
no.
Oh,
Liam.
Liam. Oh, yeah,
Liam
Liam.
Hemsworth.
Okay, yeah.
Tom Hiddleston auditioned, but he
Yeah.
didn't get it. That's like,
I-
no. You should
No,
actually be
I
Loki.
looked at his audition tape and I was like, yeah, you can't be Thor, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the audition tape was that bad, but yeah, it's like, dude, I mean, you don't have the muscles, you have nothing.
No, it was
But
like you don't
anyway,
even have the face, dog. Like it was just like I can't see you saying for Midgard. Like it's not.
yeah, which is
Mm.
something that I don't understand why Chris Hemsworth hasn't said in any of these movies. Unless I wasn't. So to this day, who's this? What's Loki Hiddleston? He thanks Kevin Browner for choosing him for this role. To this day, he's so grateful.
Made his career,
And
chief.
then
Hey, bro.
yeah, obviously we're introduced to the Warriors 3, one of them being Ray Stevens, and Zachary Levi was supposed to play the role of the blonde guy. I forgot his name. But
Fanwell.
Yeah.
I think there was scheduling conflicts, and then he came in the second one for like 1-2 seconds. But it was like, he's going to betray you. That's it. And then we also get introduced to Hawkeye in this one. Even though it's a small scene, but we do get introduced to him.
No, but this is how you're
Um,
supposed to do a cameo. Like when like one of the problems with Iron Man 2 is like, yeah, Black Widow was supposed to be a cameo. She could have been a cameo, like, something that where it's like showing that Nick Fury is accepting Iron Man. So he's like, let me just send one of my agents to help Iron Man out in the field. She kicks ass and then she just walks off screen. That probably would have been better than her being a whole plot point so that we could have spent more time with
I
Pepper.
wonder why.
But anyway,
I wonder why indeed.
It's called Double D's.
Thank you.
okay, Magnificent booty butt
yeah.
cheeks. But anyway,
Expressed.
Okay, so
Booty
basically, okay, we get
booty
Anthony
butt
Hopkins as
I think he
Odin.
as Odin.
And then
Odin.
we get Idris Elba as Heimdall, but obviously we do get,
Miscast. Oof.
yeah, that definitely miscast. I mean, race swapped as well. But also, I think the other thing that I just wanted to mention is that Jane Foster can
Get it.
as
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman as James Foster. Yeah, Kate Dennings
Whoever
and
said she can get it,
Mr.
I
Skarsgård.
concur.
say
That
something,
Denning's
but
good too.
Yeah,
nothing.
so that's it.
Bitch.
I think Buck, you can come in.
All right, cool. Thor 1. I love this movie a lot. I think it's the best Thor movie. I think it follows the comic books to a T. It not to a T, but it does a lot of reference to the comic books and all of that stuff. And you get to see that Hemsworth's performance was informed by the comic books, whether it was the humor, whether it was like some of the serious stuff in the action scenes, and you get to see Thor's growth. Now, somebody's actually looked at it and they're like, yeah, the timeline is crazy. But it's just like, hey, dog, that human, that human flower. We've been vulgar this whole time. in this show, so I'm gonna try and PG-fy it up a little bit. But yeah, that human flower. I mean, you see what it does. I mean, Vegeta, Omni-Man, transformations.
Emfana, the power of the human flower.
That's so funny.
Things they do things, Chief. We must know, like, gents, don't take women for granted here. They're magical. They turn alien dictators into house husbands. But
Guys, in the words of Morafe, things we do for Mamedi, really.
so yeah.
Okay, let me not say it. I'm being grown up.
So anyway, I'm saying, so yeah, the timeline is the only thing that I can say is a big criticism for me in this movie, because things kind of happen quick. But Hemsworth and Portman's chemistry on screen is really good. Like the humor in this was the humor that they needed to keep throughout the MCU for Thor, if you understand what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
one of the things that made it great in Infinity War with Thor is that he goes back to this humor, because like when he's on the ship with the Guardians of the Galaxy, he's in the part of the midlife crisis and whatever, and then he's like, well, I guess it's time to kill Thanos. Everybody ready? Let's go. And it's like, is he okay? Oh, no, I'm falling apart, but Thanos gotta die, so we don't have time for that. So
Yeah.
like that's the kind of humor that, like, this humor in Thor, this is what they needed to keep, and they just lost it for some reason,
But
because
wouldn't
they
you
were
say it was there
listening
in
to
the first
outside
Avengers
voices.
film?
Oh, no, sorry.
Like,
Yeah. It's there in the first Avengers, but I'm saying, like, that's the
yeah.
thing. After, and it's also there in Age of Ultron. The problem is that it falls to the wayside after Age of Ultron type of thing. But yeah. Point being is that with this movie, Hemsworth's killer performance in this, you can see Thor when he's arrogant and trying to pick fights with the Frost Giants, to when he's at the end of the movie and he's like begging Loki to stop the violence. It's like, dude, I'll do whatever you want, just don't take it out on Earth. And then when Loki gives him no choice, you see Thor step up and have to be the Thor of, the hero of Midgard or whatever. So for me, this one is a solid 8.5. I loved it just as much as Iron Man 1.
I am glad to hear it.
No, I'm with you on that one.
Underrated movie. And they kept it simple. This is what worked with it. It was a typical hero's journey. Hero falls from grace, works his way back to grace, has good support in getting there, gains knowledge, gains enlightenment, and in his enlightenment, he becomes the hero he was supposed to be. Mwah. Chef's kiss. I don't need to add anything else.
Also,
Skarsgård.
sorry, just a side note, the relationship between Thor and Loki, brilliantly depicted.
Skarsgård was great as what's his name? Elric as the scientist.
Selvig, yeah.
Selvig, Elric Selvig. Jane Foster, she killed it. The scientist who's chasing the dream and against all odds, etc., etc. Who was the assistant? Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings, yeah.
Yeah,
I forget her name.
I forget her name in the movie, but she's one of my favorite things in the movie.
Yeah.
It's probably, I think I actually like her more than I like Jane Foster, and I like Jane Foster. So yeah, she's definitely top 3 favorite things in the movie. I think it's her, Thor, and Loki. Those are my favorite in this movie. The Warriors 3 were brilliant. You can see, like, okay, yes, Thor, we go to, you could see they were yes men, but they were also trying to not be yes men.
No, like it felt like they were actually friends. Like, this is the only movie to show that the Warriors 3 were actually his homies. Every movie after that
underutilized for days. And I think the Asian member is race swapped, right? I mean, I don't think
it is a race swap. It is a race swap.
Back before race swapping was an issue.
Ish. But I get it wasn't a black person. They only get crazy when it's a black person.
No, but I mean, also my thing is, I just don't like race swaps in general. It's like find some, like do Shang-Chi, like find something for the Asian bros to do. You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Idris Elba should have been Blade, guys. Like I don't know why nobody ever made that connection.
Not a child.
No, more Blade. He has the face for Blade, not T'Challa. Also, Blade is technically British, so he could have brought that British gangsterism to Blade, which would have hit hard.
And also he's got that I will fuck you up shit
Yeah.
He's like
going on.
6
So
foot, right?
Blade would have been dope. What else? Yeah, man. I think Odin was dope. Like this movie, né? I think what I loved about this movie was um it was it was a steady build up. It was a steady build up. There was no wow 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 what there was no unnecessary loudness. There was no
Mm,
loudness for the sake of loudness. There was no
mm.
gags for the sake of gags. There was no scene for the sake of scenes.
Is
The
this
way
the
they just
best? Is this the best Thor movie?
Yes,
yes,
easily.
yes, easily. Like
Yeah,
nothing else compares.
yeah.
Like the drop from this to Dark World was insane.
I'm going
Astronomical.
to defend Dark World a little bit when we talk about it, but yeah.
No, no, no. I still like Dark World, but compared to this,
Also,
it,
like Thor's fight scene when he didn't have his powers, and also that scene between him and Loki when Loki reveals himself that he's the one that kind of tricked Thor, or whatever the case
mm,
is. That stuff was really good.
yeah. Like and also like this thing just it hit the points, man. It hit you emotionally, it hit you with the humor, it hit you with the action, it hit you with the story. Ah, solid 8.7.
Hmm. Rob?
I
Uh,
loved it, man. I loved it.
I'm going to say this is. I'm going to actually be the controversial one here. I'm
Uh-oh.
going to say this is
Wait,
a.
Develop 2.0.
I'm going to say this is a mediocre movie that is lifted high by the actual performances themselves.
There you
I
go.
think everyone filled their roles so completely that that it literally gained an extra 2 points. Though I will say this, Eric Brana is an actor's director. I think Kutso, we've gone over this before. He's an actor's director, so what I actually think he did on purpose, actually, it might have been on purpose, it might not have been, but I think he just said, guys, go for it. And there's a level of like, I can't even explain it because there's a level of quality because you can feel that Thor and Loki aren't from Earth without it looking silly, without
Yeah,
it looking like a Martin Lawrence movie, Black Knight by Martin Lawrence. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like that. You do feel like they're not from Earth. You do feel the difference. There is a line that's drawn between the characters, while at the same time still being an entertaining movie without falling into absurdity. And it doesn't take itself way too seriously, like we said about the two drunk girl lady. She was filling in a role, and she filled in her role perfectly. Because she was the comic relief. She was fun. Kept things going. The little silly moments were hilarious, like when Thor gets hit by the car twice, fantastic.
Mhm.
Then switching from drama to
when
comedy.
they stab him in the butt when he's just like, I am the son of Odin. I
Dude,
died. Oh man, I
yeah,
laughed.
it came together so nicely, but honestly, it relies on the weight of the characters, and I think Eric Bana, I I think his directing wasn't as good as it normally is. But again, I think it's because he let the characters have it. I mean, what is up with the Dutch angles? Why is the movie slanted? Is this After Earth? What's going on? um,
Oh, my soul, the
but
Dutch angle.
Yeah, but wasn't that
I
during
forgot
the
about that.
times when Thor was actually interacting with Loki and he was discovering the whole plot
there were
twist thing?
other times as well. It wasn't specific. Okay, I know what you're doing. You're talking about because yes, a Dutch angle is supposed to reveal a certain unearthliness, supposed to disorientate you. But there are scenes where it's like, no, that's not what's happening. It wasn't specific the way you're saying. I know what you're saying and I understand it. But nah, there are scenes where it's like we didn't need a Dutch angle here. But no, I get what you're saying. No. But yeah, anyway,
my point is, really good movie, carried by the performances. I'm gonna give it a solid 7.8.
Okay,
Mm.
not that bad.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, from my side, I think apart from what Rob said and what everything that you guys have said, I mean, all of it is spot on. I think these guys had a point to prove, man. Tom Hiddleston had a point to prove. Chris Hemsworth, more than anybody, had a point to prove because we had no idea who that guy was.
Mhm.
It was just brilliant. You just got three titans, I guess. Well,
Another.
hidden gems that we didn't know about, including Kenneth for me, because I wasn't really familiar with him in that, like to that extent. But storyline is great. Anthony Hopkins always brings it. Always brings it. That man is brilliant.
Mhm.
And I think also these small bits and pieces of what will if eventually get with the Infinity Saga, they all play a role there. Yeah, man, I think you guys have made me realize something. I think it was when Buckmeister was explaining Ozuko, both of them. They just made me realize that this is actually the second best MCU movie in the first phase, in my opinion. Like, it's that good. Like, when we saw Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, they didn't feel as good as Iron Man and Thor. There's something about these two movies that they got right. And Thor is so good that if Iron Man, if the MCU started with Thor, that might have worked still if it started like this. But that's what I think. Anyway, my overall score for this is 7.5.
7.5.
Lower
You're
than
lower
mine.
than
I like
Rob.
it. Uh,
Yeah.
Caught by surprise. You were
Wait, but
nicer
now
than
I'm
me.
confused, Chief.
Why?
The way you were talking, I'm thinking it's
Yeah.
gonna be
You
an
just
8
said
or
it's the second
something.
best movie and you gave it a 7.5.
Guys, have you seen my scores so far?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gave
but
Iron Man 8.7 and
yeah.
then everything else was low.
Yeah. So 7.5 is fine.
I think we don't understand that this man doesn't like the Marvel movies that much.
Yeah, maybe that's
I think that's what's happening.
this is the DC in you. This is the
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is the
the DC.
Now Rook is doing the walk of shame. Ding, 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 shame.
Shame.
Ding.
I'm saying you
Shame.
come off such high praise and then you go say like, yo, is this the episode of Shyamalan Twists? But anyway,
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, it's the
develop.
only 7th thing that I've made so far. So
Okay, is it my turn?
Here
Yebo.
we go.
Okay. This is, I think, my favorite film movie, and think it's one of my favorite MCU movies if I think about it. Top of the reasons being, it's a shared experience. It's one of the first few movies that I managed to drag my mom to watch, and she watched it from beginning to end, which is a big thing. Trust me, guys. This woman falls asleep in many a movie.
I feel you, man. My
So
dad can't stay awake through anything I like, so it's fine. I get it, man.
so that has to count for something.
Yeah.
More importantly, it's one of the first few movies that portrays an actual father figure being an actual father with positive father figure influences at this point in time. It gets worse later on, but
Oh no, it gets
yeah.
way worse.
No,
Oh,
he's still kind of problematic in this.
I mean, he's a
Uh,
king. I mean,
Look in this movie.
no, I think he was just trying to teach his son a lesson because Thor
Yes.
was unruly. He
No,
was
Thor was unruly,
I
yes.
think talking about Loki.
But like the way he handled Loki was like,
Yeah.
dog, come on.
your
But it's-
birthright was to die. I know it says it in the second one, but
Yeah.
still, like, you know your
Okay,
place,
yeah.
bro.
There's that line, that scene my favorite scene of the entire movie, funny enough, is when Odin banishes him. You know when it's like, you're a vain, greedy, cruel boy, and then you're an old man and a fool. And you just see Dawn and Thor on Odin, and like, damn, I'm right. He's right.
That's
Like,
dumbass.
yeah, like I have been a fool to think that you are anything sort of ready. And then it dawns on Thor, like, oh shit, I crossed the line.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, oh damn,
I was in
there's a
trouble
moment
two
where
sentences ago.
Dad is not angry. Dad gets disappointed. When Dad becomes disappointed, you just hear that voice like, yeah, right. Then you just see, now I have to do my duty as a king.
Yeah, I have to
For
whoop your
you.
ass. And
I
you know what
know.
I love about this, guys?
Yeah.
Is that this is stuff that is ripped from the comic books. Like this is
Yeah.
Thor's origin, is that Thor gets trapped in a mortal body because he has to prove his worthiness, and then he has to
John
build
Blake,
up.
no?
Yeah,
Is
he
it
gets
John
trapped.
Blake?
That's why you get the John Blake reference in the hospital, which
Yes.
is funny because like they weren't going to do a whole John Blake arc, but you get to see, okay, he was John Blake and now he's going back to being Thor.
It was definitely an Easter egg for sure.
And that
Go
whole
back
scene,
to this, Marvel. God damn it.
I mean, it's that whole scene where even when Loki tries to intervene, you just say, ah! Like, okay, that. Shit. And then Thor, Odin's son, you have defied the express command of your father in king. You are unworthy of your loved ones that you have betrayed. There you go.
Bruh, like the level of acting here, no? Like they had to bring it. It's as if this thing was a stage play before they put on the cameras, dog. Like everybody brought it, bruh.
And
like,
That's Eric Bana style.
Yeah.
The cinema was quiet. People felt their father issues boil up to the surface when when Odin was banishing him. It's like, I now take from you your power. Boom. And in the name of my father and his father before him, I, Odin, all father, cast you out. Like, whew.
No, and I think another thing that we got to give to this movie is that it also shows the descent of Loki in a natural way.
Yeah, because
like you see how Loki became Loki in this movie when they're like adapting the comic books and Tom Hiddleston's performance, but you get to see that descent into madness. And it's like, and it's so interesting because Loki is up here and Thor is like down here. As Thor rises, Loki falls.
And we've got to see the Destroyer at work doing its thing. We get to see
ripped from the comic books, I believe.
I know. What else did I found? Okay, yeah, sure. The budding love romance between that mortal woman and Thor. Yeah, you guys enjoyed it. Whatever.
No, and they just made it seem like the love between Thor and Sif doesn't exist at all, dog. Like in any of these
that's
movies.
probably the only criticism.
That friend zone is strong.
The friend zone. Oh, also, that scene
Stuck in the
with
friend zone.
with
Stuck
the
in
frost,
the friend zone.
the scene with the frost giants, like when Odin appears with his 8-legged horse, and you just see like, Father, we'll beat them together. Quiet.
Like I like how that quiet was loud, yet it was quiet.
That is you see a dad that's pissed off. I just can't explain that this movie was actually quite entertaining. The cinematography, the scenery, you see Asgard as Asgard, it's obtusely a grandiose, gigantic golden thrones, big ass halls.
It's almost like adapting the comic books made the movie even better.
And then ultimately, Thor sacrifices the thing that he loves to protect the realm that he was trying to hate. People forget that when he smashed the Bifrost, he was basically cutting himself off from Jane. That is the sacrifice of leadership. And when that hammer struck, that's when Odin woke up from the Odin sleep. Very deep symbolism. It just shows that this man has now finally matured. Beautiful thing. So, okay, let me calm myself down. My score is a solid 9.
Not mad at that.
So it's a 9. Wow. Yeah, wow. It's for this is for you, Mom.
All right, Captain America, last one for the night. Anything to say there, Extraordin?
Okay. Okay, I'm here. Sorry, guys. So basically, Captain America, if you guys remember, there used to be sort of like two made-for-TV films that came out of Captain America where he was wearing a helmet instead of a normal visor or just whatever, a mask, whatever you call it. Chris Evans was attached to the role, but he was not sure about it in the first place because he was not happy with what happened with the 2 Fantastic Four films that he had made in the past, and he didn't want to commit in doing something so long because these people at this point in time, the MCU was really doing great financially, and these guys would be attached to like 9 picture deals from the jump, not even like a 2-3 picture deal, for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 picture deals, and he wasn't sure about it. But after communicating with Kevin Feige, I guess eventually they convinced him that look, this will work.
No,
This initially
didn't he talk to didn't he talk to RDJ?
was it RDJ? I don't think it was RDJ. I could be wrong. I don't think it was RDJ.
Okay,
but I could
somebody
be wrong
correct
about
us
it.
in the comment section down below if you're at this point in the video and you care enough. But I thought it was RDJ.
Mickey Mouse showing up with a suitcase of money.
Yes.
Oh, here you go. Oh.
Convinced now?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then something that people don't know is that Jack Kirby and Joe Simon actually created Captain America. Stan Lee was involved in creating Captain America. So that's, I think, one of the things that people keep forgetting. But anyway, so we have Haley Atwell, who becomes Peggy Carter. John, who's this? Chris Carr from the John Campea show mentioned something very interesting. She says that Peggy Carter's role is really not utilized that very well throughout the entire MCU, if you think about it. Yes, she does play like a nice agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the first one, and she does play a love interest in this one. And then she has her own series that gets cancelled. She does come in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but she gets killed quickly. She isn't What If, but yeah, she voices the character as Captain Britain. But like she keeps coming back. She does have like a cameo in Ant-Man in the beginning, the sort of prologue, if you will, or like a flashback. But I guess she's a team player in that regard. Anyway, you have Hugo Weaving from the Matrix fame and Lord of the Rings, and he also did V for Vendetta. He plays the Red Skull in this one, and he never comes back after this. Someone else actually plays the Red Skull going forward. Sebastian Stan.
Oh,
I have
wow.
so many questions to ask about that because, honest to God,
Yeah.
it's like when
Maybe
he
he
brought the
didn't-
Infinity Stone. What was the Red Skull thinking? Greetings, greetings, Steve, son of a bitch. What the hell are you doing here?
Anyway, there's something that Rob and I have mentioned before about Bucky. Bucky here is not a teenager. He's not a kid. He
He's a
seems to be like
man.
it seems to be like his what was the
Don't
Steve
tell
Rogers peer friend. Anyway, so yeah, he portrayed Bucky very well. You have someone like Derek Luke in here. Derek Luke is, I think, I don't know where he is lately. This is someone that has been trained by Denzel Washington. If you guys remember Anton Fisher, he was in Anton Fisher as Anton Fisher. He did other things like Catching Fire. He was in the music video with Alicia Keys' Teenage Love Affair. He was in Hawthorne with Jada Pinkett Smith. At a point, he was on a roll, but for some reason,
Okay,
he just
Extraordinary, we
became
gotta kind of
relegated.
cut all of this trivia short so that
Yeah,
we can
sure,
have enough
sure,
time to
sure.
talk about the movie.
No problem. No problem. I think one last thing I just need to mention is that it came out in 2011, had a budget of between 140 to 216 million, and it got over 370 million at the box office.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm saying if you lowball that budget, then yeah, it did great.
Yeah.
if it goes up to the 260, then it didn't really do that good.
Which I
Yeah.
don't think it's 260. I'm looking at that movie. It doesn't give me a feeling of 260. It didn't feel overproduced.
Mm.
So I'm my eye is telling me it's 140 or somewhere there.
But I mean, if you think about the film locations that they had to shoot in, it's a lot of film locations there.
Oh, is it a
there's
lot?
of movement. Sure,
Yeah,
some of it was
think
sound
about it. I think there's like from Queens to different
They
fields,
shoot
like in
in
the army.
Queens. They shoot.
But I'm saying I still don't.
Soundstage,
But there's not a lot of. But there's not a lot of like
They
the
shoot in
CGI.
Europe.
I'm saying, yeah, but I'm saying like the CGI is not that
Yeah.
crazy to me. So maybe it's the traveling that blows up the budget. But then even then, I'm still thinking maybe 180, not
But
260.
even then, I think if you look at most of the stuff, it's very recyclable stuff. They just change a few things, and it's they could literally shoot a couple of different scenes in the same location, and it'd be different locations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
There weren't
anyway,
too many like distinct buildings.
Yeah.
But
Just like
also, but
markings.
also, guys, if you remember, like I think the first half of this movie, it's another actor playing Steve Rogers, and then they had to put like Chris Evans's face on there,
Yes.
you know. So that motion cap technology might have cost them a bit more.
Oh,
Than,
true, true, true.
yeah.
That's
Okay, yeah.
also
Okay, that makes sense.
because yeah, it was kind of seamless. Anyway, the movie was kind of a smash. I mean, it wasn't a smash hit, but
Yeah.
it was keeping the momentum of the MCU. I think this
I
movie does a lot to set up Steve Rogers. I really think that like this movie explains Steve Rogers. It like distills Steve Rogers' character as a whole, and they continue to like pepper it out throughout the entire MCU, throughout all 10 years of the films. Um, I love his interactions with Bucky. I love how Peggy falls for him before he becomes Captain America.
Mm.
Simply because like the thing is it shows that this thing that's special about Steve is his heart. It's not so much, you know, like for example, the perfect scene is when what I'm forgetting the general, Tommy Lee Jones, like throws the grenade on the ground, and he's like, yeah, you're gonna see that the guy we're picking for this is gonna be mean, and he's gonna do what's necessary for what.
Yeah.
And that guy dives undercover, and Steve jumps on the bomb.
But
Like
he's
I
still
think,
but he's still skinny.
yeah, he's still tiny, but he's like, yeah,
Someone give
no,
that man a sandwich.
yeah. But like, yeah,
Shoot him,
that
man,
whole
Mm.
thing of
somebody.
him like jumping on the bomb, yeah, but that thing of him jumping on the bomb,
Yeah, it was
the
iconic.
scene
Yeah.
the scene in the theater where that guy is like heckling the movie, and like Steve is like, dude, can you show some respect because it's like the military and all of that stuff, and they're going to go fight people, and then we get the infamous "I can do this all day."
Mm.
I know, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, and also Red Skull in this, I do like the depiction of Red Skull. He was kind of terrifying, like especially when he starts murking other Nazis. Like other Nazis were even like, "Yo, I can't even hang with this, bro."
Oh yeah, Hugo killed it, man.
Yeah, so for me, it's it's up there, but it's not like let's see, what did I give Thor? I gave 8.5. I give this a solid 8. I think the only thing I did not like about this movie so much was some of the action scenes and choreography. I think it's one of the best looking Captain America suits, but I just think some of the fighting is too static. It's too blocky or whatever. But yeah, I think the lore, I think how they incorporate the Tesseract, I think Hydra, yeah, I'll give this an 8. Zooks, floor's yours.
Yeah, so great movie. I enjoyed it. I bought into Steve. I bought into his character. I bought into his actions. I bought Peggy falling for him. Um, enjoyed Bucky, enjoyed the Howling Commandos. I loved Red Skull and his scientist, kind of what's it called? Zola.
Our name's Zola.
Yeah,
Zola
Zola.
7.
Stanley
Mm,
Tucci.
this movie was very well depicted, very very well told, and I also like the little hints of intelligence they show for Steve or outside of the box thinking when they're going for the flag, and he just like, okay, so the aim is get to flag, and then he takes out the pin and he gets the flag, and that's also the type of thing that you can see Peggy's like, oh, okay, I see you, Steve, I see you thinking like that. So that was little kind of cool things. So and also they don't like sometimes when they making this guy is the good guy, he's so good, he's so honest, he's so earnest. It didn't feel shoved down my throat. It didn't feel false
Mm.
with Steve.
Yeah, they really no, because I think a perfect example of what you're saying is the conversation that he has with Erskine, and they says
Mm,
something that's always made me think for years. like that's another thing that this movie, like the dialogue in this movie also stuck with me because he was like, yeah, the first people that the Nazis invaded was Germany. Like
Yeah,
that's a
yeah, that was
crazy
a fire.
thing. And like that's a crazy thing to think about because you never really
Mm,
think about that with
Mm.
Nazism and how it rose,
mm,
with
mm,
quick
mm.
history and World War II and all of that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of Germans that got screwed by the Nazis to the point where like I had a German teacher, just quick side note, I had a German teacher and she was just like, don't mention Nazi around me. Like my family came out bad, like it was a shitty situation for us. So it's
Mm,
just like, yeah,
mm,
like it was so because Steve goes, it's not where you're from. I just hate bullies. I don't
mm.
care about like I care about America, but it's not about America.
Yeah,
Like if you put me over in Britain or whatever, and like the French were fucking with the British, I punch the French. It's
yeah.
not it's not about where you at, it's about who you are. And that's something that's
It's
really intrinsic to this character.
mm. Little fun fact. When Steve Rogers comes out of the capsule all buff and ish, and Haley Atwell almost grabs him. That was actually real. That wasn't. She literally was like, "Oh, hold up, what? I see you,
I'm
Mr.
surprised she
Chris
didn't
Evans."
holler. I'm surprised she didn't holler because that's how I know. Hey, Chris Evans is a better man than me. If Haley Atwell was feeling me like that, I'd be like, hey, after I get off on set,
Hey man, after we get on set,
Once the
how about we make
director
Cap and
says
Peggy a
cut,
real thing?
once the director says cut, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Like Donkey Kong.
Shema, I'm playing the Barry White. I'm playing the Maxwell. I'm playing the
hey, let
There's
me
turn.
get
this
in your
meme.
Who's the
barrel. You
turn
know
off the
what I'm
lights guy
saying?
again?
Let me get in your barrel.
Turn
Turn
off
on the
the
glass.
lights.
Then
There's
depend
this,
the
Hey,
glass.
boo, Teddy.
there's
Shema,
this
I'm playing the
meme.
Teddy.
There's this meme that always gets me
Um,
going where they show after it comes to the question, there's this guy standing next to Captain America. It's like, oh my god, am I gay now? Is this what being gay feels like?
Oh,
And
and also
the
there was
person
that
was like, I
there
think I
was
made him too attractive.
there's a lady that's a shield operative there. That's also that also played Quill's mother in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Deep.
Oh yeah, and also there's girly from Game of Thrones. I forgot her name. She fine as hell also, where she throws herself at Captain America, and
oh,
like, and
for the woman giving thanks for the wives of America.
yeah, and like Steve is just like, hey man, I'm trying to get Peggy Carter. Come on, stay away from me.
And also that's the nice thing. Like you see, he's got all things. Like what you can see, he literally has no idea what to do now. He's like, yeah, like it was cool. Like they didn't make him now like he became all buff and tall and shit, and now he became suave and smooth and stuff. He was still the awkward
Yeah,
Steve that we know.
dog didn't know what to do, bro. He was getting vurified there by the legs.
Hey, Danga. Oh, Stark was also a good character in this.
Yeah, Howard Stark. Yeah.
Yeah, Howard Stark. He did good, but also the story was well organized. It was
Mm.
clear.
Mm.
It
Dominic
it it
Cooper.
it wasn't confusing. It wasn't misleading. So that I enjoyed that. There's something I've forgotten. There is something I've forgotten to mention. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I can't think of what it is right now, but yeah, I'll also give it I'll give it an 8.
All right, an 8.
I know there's
Nice.
something I've forgotten to mention, but I enjoyed this movie. Oh, the music. The
Mm.
music. It was
Oh yeah, it was
very,
actually very good.
yeah, the music was very calm and it flowed with the thing. You know, sometimes they just be putting music for music's sake. Like this music made sense.
Mm. Oh, and shout out to the scene where Bucky does fall and Captain America is mourning his friend. I feel like that interaction
Mm,
between Peggy and Steve was also just chef's kiss.
And that's the thing, like the moments were the emotional moments were well hit. They didn't feel forced. They didn't feel shoved down our throat. They didn't feel uh contrived. So they, hey man, Shout out to the production team, to the director, the writer, everyone. Y'all guys did a good job on this one.
Agreed.
All right, Rob.
Not
Uh-oh.
much to say about this one. I agree with most of you guys that overall this is a great movie. Genuinely fantastic. I will say this though. Do you know what it kind of feels like to me? It feels like a greatest hits documentary.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know if you guys know the greatest hits format kind of direct documentary where like you take the documentary elements and you take like the best moments of that character's life and you
Yeah,
kind of
sure, like
stack
straight out of Compton or something. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that.
where they don't really spend that much time on like specific character moments per se, like linger on them. In fact, I would even say Sarah Compton is better. I would actually say more like the the guy got an Oscar for Queen. The Queen
Bohemian
one.
Rhapsody.
Yeah, the Queen.
Yes, Bohemian Rhapsody. I
Bohemian
feel like
Rhapsody.
I would almost leave it
With Rami
towards-
Malek.
Yeah, we go, Rami Malek. I would almost say, to me, in a weird way, this movie feels like that. I don't know if that fully explains it properly, but I honestly think it's like a fantastic documentary, but like a really good movie, if that makes any sense. So I did enjoy myself. I had fun with this one. I thought Chris Evans did a great job. I've never thought of Chris Evans as the world's greatest actor. I think Hugo Weaving's did a fantastic. Oh my God, I love Hugo Weaving in everything. Whether it's Priscilla or V for Vendetta, whether it's just the
thank God
voice.
somebody watched it. Oh God, thank you. Thank you. Someone watched it. Yo. Anyway.
I know, right? When he was describing it, I was like, this man missed the best one.
Yes. I was about to bring it up on my turn.
But anyway, Hugo Weaving, even in the few seconds he was there, he was fantastic with the opening to the bridge fight scene. I really thought he, in my opinion, stole the show in his own weird way. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 7.3.
Yeah, Hugo was boss.
Yeah. No, I see what you did there. And he was a Nazi. And he was a Nazi too, so it works in more than one way.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, shadowing.
Stealing my pun man drop there, Zuko.
I'm here all week. Hey,
Fuck.
A triple entendre, man. A triple entendre. I like it.
Hey, call me Jay-Z. Triple entendre, don't even ask me how.
I'm gonna need you to amend my score for Thor because I realized that you guys were right. Actually, please make that 8.5.
Oh,
My
yeah.
man.
What a jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you compare these two movies and you're like, no, I was actually kind of
Yeah, because if I have to rate this one, I'm realizing that no, Thor is way too low.
Yeah.
This one I'd give
The
it a
walk of
7.
shame actually worked. So I'm
This
surprised.
one I'd give it a 7. It's for me, it's better than Incredible Hulk. And it's better than Iron Man 2 because the story is cohesive, it doesn't feel disjointed. Everything actually is a bit seamless. Seeing Captain America say he can do this all day, even when he was crony, tells you a lot about his character. Also mentioning all the things that you guys have mentioned already. Losing his friend Bucky, that was sad. I mean, I felt it when he was on the train and he fell off. Peggy
Because they built
Carter.
it enough. There was a lot of scenes where you knew Bucky had his back.
Yeah. Also,
like that's the thing, that relationship is so organic. It's not like Bucky is his friend because he pities him and whatever. And also, Bucky doesn't treat him like he's an invalid, but Bucky also knows like Steve's limits. That's why when he meets Steve and he's just like, what did the Nazis do to me? Like, am I seeing things?
Right. But also I just want to say, even with Peggy Carter, I was looking forward to seeing that dance with him and Peggy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's like these.
It had to take 20 years.
The relationships that he forms with all these characters are organic, man, and you actually really feel that this man deserves a bit more than everything that life throws at him. It's like, it just happens to have bad luck to a certain degree.
No, true. But I think one of the problems with the MCU is that they couldn't move him forward. I think that was a big mistake.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they should have built up his relationship with Agent 13. Like, I feel like they should have let Peggy go and they
Yes.
should have focused on Agent 13. I think that's one of the disservices that they do to this character, because then I feel like he wouldn't have to have gone back in time in
Right.
Endgame.
It's
But
the same
anyway.
thing. It's the same thing that happened with Lady Sif, like we mentioned with Thor. It's something similar, where
I mean,
it's
Yeah,
like,
true.
okay, we introduced the first love interest. Let's just keep it that way.
well,
Yeah,
but
Quick
true.
question,
that's not
guys.
really the point. Yeah?
In the comics, is Agent 13 Peggy's grandniece or whatever she was?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's just creepy.
Yeah.
is.
It's
No,
not.
it is.
For
It's
me,
not.
It
it's
is.
Oh, stop watching The Bold and the Beautiful, Buck.
Yeah.
It's making
Yeah.
weird things normal.
No,
It's
wait,
making
hold
weird things.
on. Hold on.
Wait.
hold on.
So
When
so
they
you would
meet
hit
up-
on the aunt and the niece?
If she's grown and I'm grown, it's fine.
Fuck.
No. So you
No.
Wait,
Meister.
I'm trying to understand
The
what's
color is
confusing here.
broken.
I'm trying to
Brookmeister.
understand. Hold on. Let's look at the scenario first. Let's just clear up the scenario. So first
It's
off,
still her
Frozen
niece.
in ice.
wait, he's frozen
Don't
in ice.
justify it.
Wait, let me explain how. First off, he's frozen in ice, ne, for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the way he meets her, he didn't know it was her niece or whatever. They meet on the job, okay?
Mhm.
They form a relationship, and then he finds out later. And also, at this time, Peggy is gone. It's not that he's like, I'm trying to Forrester it up in here. It's just that apparently they vibe, and after they vibe, then he finds out later. But both of them are grown individuals by the time this happens.
This is giving
You know why they
flashbacks.
vibe? Because she's got her aunt's blood in her. That's why they're vibing.
But
The
I'm
same blood he
saying,
was vibing with at
But
first.
but I'm saying when they meet each other,
bonding vibes.
but I'm saying when they meet each other, it's not. I don't understand how this is weird. I feel like it was fine.
It's giving
I
Guys,
think
Jacob.
the fact that he knows,
Aunties,
he knows and he
aunties,
still
keep your
kisses
nieces
her.
away from Buck. Aunties, keep your nieces
No,
away
no,
from Buck.
this is it's basically the same plot of Jacob and Rafflecopter or Renisbeth.
No,
or
it's
whatever.
not.
It
He
is.
didn't. He
Shut
did
up,
not
baby.
inflict on her as a child. He met her as
Still.
an adult. They're
Still,
adults.
just imagine if an 18-year-old girl walked up to you and said, "Let's do this."
It's not even 18. She's like 25
But-
or
Okay,
something.
And how old is he? How
Let's
old
flip
is
this
he?
back. Let's flip this. Would you date your uncle's ex?
Yeah, why not?
Oh God.
Okay, Askis. Never
Okay,
mind.
this is clearly a
Bro,
for another
Meister.
day.
Fair
Okay.
to
Rob,
him.
Rob, you
There
were
are
saying?
no
Rob's just saying.
Buck has no limits. Keep
To
Brook.
be fair,
Keep
there are
Brook
no
Meister.
actual consequences to that. To be fair, it's only up to first cousins, I believe.
Brookmeister.
Heto Logan.
I'm confused.
Heto Logan.
If they broke up and we vibing and we both adults and we're not related, what's happening?
This is
Okay.
like
So,
SNL
Logan.
skit. It's Twilight, man. It's fine.
It's not
So
even.
long as
Oh
I
my
don't want to hear
God.
you say
And he has a
anything bad
problem- he
about
has a
Jacob
problem with
and
Twilight, by the way.
and
He has a
and
problem
Rose
with-
Pink
No,
anymore.
Jacob meets Jacob meets Raffle as a child.
it's still,
Whatever, Heto Logan.
it's still also the same. It's basically Edward and Bella still. What's the age gap? What is the age gap?
Like 100, I think.
But okay, just to defend Toilet a little bit, he's still stuck emotionally at 17.
And
The thing is,
Captain
when
America
you
is still
look at
stuck as
when you look at Captain America, right? The only
Yeah.
reason he's 90 was because he was frozen in ice. His actual age is he's still the regular 30-year-old dude.
Banging
Yeah,
his
guys, we can do,
his
we
would
can
have
do this
been
all
ex's
day. I think
niece.
Rob, just please continue.
Yeah,
Okay. Wait.
Well, yeah,
didn't
shook
I-
it.
No,
not
it's
me.
Stebello.
Stebello.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
you score
Heto
already.
Logan here is gonna traumatize us.
Agent 13 for life. She's
Wait, what-
actually
what does
amazing in
Rob
the
score?
comic books.
Whatever,
Rob
Brook.
score?
Whatever,
that's what-
Brookmeister.
Yeah, what does it
Oh.
score, Rob?
7.3. It's here.
Yes, 7.3. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, brace yourself for heart attacks. I have yet to finish this movie.
Uh-oh.
Outstanding. Outstanding.
With your concubine.
Fabulous.
That's just so how little I cared about this movie. There is my concubine, and I couldn't bother to watch it.
Wow.
So you're not standing Sebastian, all right?
Yeah, you know what? Today you are not representing Marvel well, eh?
Let me tell you something. Look, let me just put into context. I've had generational beef with Captain America. It's not necessarily from
What did he
the
do?
movie.
But this was
His
America's
existence-
ass, Tebelo. How
His
could you?
very existence annoys me. He's basically American propaganda if you look at it from an objective perspective. And
I mean, he is America.
Wait. Let's be fair.
No, I'm talking about it from the plot sense. When you look at his characterization, yes, there's a lot more nuance and stuff like that. But if you were to look for it from an outside, you've got somebody living all the way in Africa, and then they say, no, we have to watch this thing called Captain America. He's this great hero who kept on fighting against the Nazis and saved us from the world.
Okay, yeah, they blow it out of proportion, sure.
Thank you.
But I'm
Thank
saying
you.
him
So
as
now-
a character, he's a
now-
good character.
What invited me to to look at this character in a little deeper from that? I don't want to look at that person. Like, who cares? Go and represent your American imperialism. Leave me alone. That's how I used to feel about Captain America for years. So
Like as a kid.
yes,
Even after Avengers
You were
Earth's
on that
Mightiest
level
Heroes.
as a kid.
really, I went
No
when
ways.
I was
No ways.
all
Nah,
That's
dog, there's
rational.
no way. You
That
were just like this
reasoning.
kid.
I was all of 13 years old when I went to Chicago and New York for the first time. And what I saw there colored my perspective till this day.
Whoa, you've been
I
here
mean,
for
so-
so
so
long.
when you watched when Captain America throws his mighty shield, you were like,
My eyes
okay.
were like, yeah.
How old
because-
were you?
Was
I'm
that
just
in high
trying to
school?
picture a 13-year-old. The imperialist system of so-and-so. And
No, at that point,
And,
my disdain was I
Rob,
went
the
there.
worst part, he doesn't even say management that time.
yeah.
When I went there, the thing I realized was like, you guys are no different from us. Because I saw like, but who did see more? There are the spotters, there are the
But what does that have to do with Steve Rogers, bro?
so now bearing that, now that I see the truth behind this veil, and then you have this idealized characterization that they're trying to shove down my throat in Marvel, I was like, I'm not buying this. I know what you guys really are. So stop it.
You're gonna
So-
love the
Okay.
Falcon
But why didn't
comics
you feel
then.
that way about Superman? Why didn't you feel that way about Batman? And
Truth and
Spider-Man?
the American way. Yeah.
Hence, you see that word Captain America. They went subtle about it. And this with Superman, they were just saying Superman.
I want to beef in Steve and J.
So that was me. But as time goes on, I mellowed down because Steve Rogers basically was a criticism against the American system, as much as Superman is now a criticism for the super powerful. Not only seeing it like, oh wow, okay, so this Captain America title is actually it's actually it's not satire. What's the word they're looking for? Political satire. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. The whole idea is that Steve represents what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and each time he does something to the spite of this current American agenda, it's something to make that rubs them up the wrong way because that character keeps reminding them, this is what you're supposed to be. This is what you're supposed to represent. And when you're falling short of this, you're not only proving yourself, you're also proving him as a hypocrite. So that's where I realized, oh, okay.
Oh, you mean like Superman?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like you're going to give this movie a 3, but let's hear you out.
No. That being said, there are many things I liked when he came out with those muscles, everything like that. Nothing stopped. Music played in my head. Time stopped. I fell in love with him all over again. I missed the hair because me and the hairy chest were always friends, especially in the days of the Human Torch, and I was walking around that whole thing like.
Hairy chest, what are you from the 80s?
I have hormones. I like to see another proper person with all these hormones in full display. None of this shaved nonsense. I don't want kids.
I'm saying Devilla was a big fan of the Beach People. Why am I forgetting it now? The Hoff.
No.
Easy.
That funny enough, I never really liked to thinking Baywatch.
Oh, there we go. Never
never
liked to
really-
watch the Bay.
I never really got into that. Funny
You
enough,
didn't like watching the
To be
Hawk in
fair, you would have been like,
running in
what,
slow
12
motion?
years old?
nope. It didn't do anything.
You'd have been like 10 years old when that came out, man.
Yeah, Marnelli's the ring.
It would have been strange if it did anything for you.
Hey, look, to the Cass Smith in Dawson's Creek was doing something, but not this guy. So, and it came out at the same time. So,
What?
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
you
what's
that
your
was
rating?
tangent and a half.
Wow.
all right. Bringing it back to this movie, there are things that I did manage to appreciate, if not enjoy. The move from using him as a propaganda tool to realizing that he can actually be a military asset, on brand with what America usually does. The Red Skull. My biggest strategy is that we should have had more movies with him. Because the Red Skull was a legitimate proper. Look, in the comics, the Red Skull is a menace to this day. We have Doom, we have Red Skull. They are the biggest issues that Shield faces on a day-to-day basis. Like it's Doom, it's Red Skull, and then just right there underneath him is Baron Zemo. So we've got this thing, but then they don't. He's heavily
I don't know who
underutilized.
pissed off Hugo Weaving in the MCU.
Yeah, because it feels like I genuinely feel like he got fired halfway in this movie because he died like early, man, in this film.
So
But does he have
And
more
also,
Transformer movies
and then he
than he has?
becomes
Yeah.
the stone guy, and like you wasted this character.
So I mean, he was, for heaven's sake, he was Megatron.
Yeah, did he do more Transformer movies than he did Marvel movies? That's
You know?
crazy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and how many epic one-liners did you get from Megatron in those movies? Even the first one. The first thing he said, what does he say to Starscream? The first thing he says, the most iconic line, you failed me
again.
yet again, Starscream. Is the one
But
comment?
the jazz one was the one that killed me, man. You want a piece of me? No, I want two.
Two. God.
Okay.
Okay, so my score here, I'm gonna look. I was gonna give it the same score as the first Iron Man. And
Okay.
since you guys managed to persuade me to go up to 7, so I'm gonna give this also a 7.
All right.
Yeah, it would have been a
Okay.
6, but it's I'm okay with 7.
It's okay.
All right.
All right,
And that I believe is
guys.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you guys want to say anything before we shut it down?
Not really. I think we covered everything we need to cover.
I'm going to take my notes because I'm going to defend the next movie with my life. Stand by for all those ratings. The next movie is going to be my last stand moment. It's going to be for Rob.
Anyway,
Rob
It's funny,
knows.
we've talked about this before. I don't know if you guys remember, but you guys are all
No, I
here.
did. Yeah, I remember.
Rob knows this scene from Legacy of the Void. You see that moment where there's that last zealot, and all these zealots come after him, and you just see him getting up and then ignites his blades like
Yes.
one man against the entire universe. That's me. That'll be me next week. Watch.
You'll see.
Stand by, kids. If you want to see drama take place, tune in. Don't miss it out. Do you hear me? Don't miss out what's going to happen next week because things are going to go crazy. Come here. Tune to this channel. Don't miss it out. Subscribe. Click the bell
I
button.
love the pitch. I love it. I love
Your
it.
women,
Why
your
is
children.
Develop like cutting a WWE promo?
Yeah, dog,
Next
I
week
love
is going down. I am laying the
Look here,
smack
brother.
down.
Like
No
it's going to be
rule,
pay-per-view,
shut your mouth,
WrestleMania.
and that's the bottom line. Because all the law of the Hala said so.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, that's all I have to say. Those are my final
Kidding.
thoughts.
Okay,
I'm giving my piece.
I'm glad you didn't say something like the whole exploding world is about to change. We don't need that line, all right? Because
In
whenever
a
we say
world.
stuff like that, it doesn't work out. So
In a
don't
world.
you didn't take it to the rock level.
Oh,
So
no. In a
anyway,
world of extreme universe, one man will make a stand for a movie.
Starring Chuck Norris.
anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video for this long. Like Buckmaster and I usually say, if you have watched this movie up till this far, or this video rather, then you are strong. Oscar.
Under
Right.
the
Foundation ya
Bapile.
papa.
Yeah.
Foundation
So
ya papa ko wena.
anyway, so for myself, Rob, Buckmeister Cool, Azanusuko Mlomo, and the energetic Tiba Lokhala. We shall see you guys on the next video. Cheers.
Cheers.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Peace.